James is back again. James is back again.
Right,
James.
Hang on. Turn the football down. You don't want to watch that. It's boring. Watch this.
What football would that be, Cole?
England are playing some team in the National League, I think.
Are they? Well, what can you expect?
Well, World Cup qualifier. Don't worry, we got it live on TV. Well, it's just up here. It's up here. Up there. You can't see it, but it's up there.
Up there. Yeah, all right. I thought you was going to say something else. I was waiting for
No. You can watch the football on catch up.
You can. Other services are available. Firstly, before we get into it, James, welcome back. How are you feeling?
Yeah. Have you made the bed yet?
Well, wants to know if you made the bed yet.
I'm all right. Just been a bit chaotic recently.
Yeah. And tell our John's Unplugged viewers out there in the multiverse what has been chaotic in James's life.
Yeah, tell us, James.
Everything.
No, don't.
Everything.
Tell us.
You're listening to the counselling hour on Don's Unplugged.
Everything. Work.
You're moving house.
Is that come on?
House and,
come on. Explain. Trying to move house.
Trying to move house. And just stressful. But we're getting there.
That's it then. That's it.
But apart from that, it's fine, James. Well, welcome back anyway. Nice to have you back on the show, mate. And hopefully the move is congratulations, by the way, but hopefully it's not too stressful. And
thank you. Hoping not.
You don't want to end up like me with no hair at the end of the process, but who knows, James? Who knows?
Yeah,
but by July, I'm going to either be grey or bald. So, greyer.
Well, be Colin or Aidan. Got it. There we go.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we move into the agenda, we've got a few good evenings to get through. So I shall do the YouTube.
Already?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do the YouTubes, as I say, but James, you'll be doing the Facebook coverage for us again tonight.
Remember how to do that, James?
Don't listen to him, James. Don't listen to him.
Can't see the comments. Right. Where are they?
Oh, good grief. Get him off here. Go on, Aidan.
Anyway, evening legends and Collins from Ashley. Ashley, thank you for that. And evenings and Colin as well.
Mr. Clement.
Nothing. Usually you come up with a witty retort, Cole.
Yeah, I can't be asked.
Charming. Never mind. Thanks, Ashley, anyway, for joining. We've got Matt. Matt says, evening, lads. I take the blame for the loss. Again, I left my cap in the car. Oh, my days. Matt, what are you doing? I know.
I waved to him.
6 points, Matt. Come on.
I said, where's your cap? And he just waved back.
There you go. What can I say? Matt, this is... I'm not saying it's squarely on you, Matt, but we will have to have words at next home game to make sure you've got your cap. Yeah. He said, or maybe it's a sign that I need to stop buying so many classic Don shirts off eBay. Never stop doing that, Matt. Never stop doing that. My wardrobe is full of walls.
I would tell you what, they have flown off eBay recently.
They have, haven't they? It's funny what happens when you get a billionaire.
Oh, yeah. How much will I get for my A-line shirt?
How much would you get for it? Yeah, upwards of 50.
Really?
Yeah.
Right, we'll start advertising next week.
Well, there you go. But anyway, Matt, thanks for joining. And as I say, carry on buying before the stock increases. Like Bitcoin, you're getting ahead of the game. And you can always get valuations from our very own James as well. So there we go.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Anyway, we've got Carrie Ann. She says, evening, everyone. Carrie Ann, thank you very much for joining. Good evening to you. Hope you're well. Craig has joined us as well on the YouTube. He says, evening, fellas. Well, MK certainly screwed Saturday, but bloody hell, that ref. Oh, Craig, we have got plenty to talk about with that ref. I certainly have anyway.
I thought he was good.
So, again, we'll have plenty to talk about on this show. What can I say?
Go on.
Lucas said evening. So he said, hey, and he said, England with a yawny face. Quite right.
Hello, you Luca. I did Luca. The Luca.
Okay, look, see, he's trying to do the look, Luca. He can't pull it off.
That's the Luca look.
It is the Luca look. It's been copyrighted, Colin. Be careful, mate. Be careful. Anyway, Matt says, I can't relate, James. You're not alone.
I can relate, James.
You can relate.
You can. Thank you, Matt.
You can.
And that was a red car Saturday, Luca. We will be talking about that. And there's lots to talk about that. I was hoping you wouldn't see me, Colin. I knew I knew when you started waving.
Yeah, he tried to ignore me. I was waving at him.
Sorry, I love that. Waving the cat. He was just being friendly. That's how he waves to everyone, Matt. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Anyway, James, any comments on the YouTube? On the Facebook?
Yeah, we've got a couple of good evenings from Glyn. So good evening, Glyn. And also
nice
Grant.
To see him
good evening, Grant.
Nice to see you doing better, mate.
First time seeing him on Saturday.
Yeah, it was good to see Glyn actually Saturday.
Yeah, he showed me the photographs, which I didn't appreciate, but
just eat the burger.
I'm a little bit squeamish, but there we go.
And good old Ollie Welch says, "How are we doing, legends?" I think. How's Ollie doing?
Quite right.
How's Ollie doing?
Ollie, thanks for joining, mate.
Right.
Always a pleasure to have you watching, mate. And likewise, how are you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well.
Well, yeah, and that leads us neatly, if you like, to just remind people it's Tom Carey's funeral. Stickman, it's his funeral tomorrow.
Yes.
Crown Hill Crematorium, 12:15. If you can get down there, I'm sure his family and friends would appreciate your attendance. Also asked if people could wear red or white Dom's merch. I should be wearing a bit of Dom's merch tomorrow. If you go down there, I'll see you down there. But 12:15, Crown Hill Crematorium, Stickman's funeral. If you can get down there, that'd be brilliant.
Lovely stuff, Colin. Thanks for that. And is it Grant, did you say? James Grant Colo said hello as well.
Grant,
evening, Grant, as always. Much appreciated for your attendance, good sir. Thank you. Anyway, look, thank you everyone for joining us on an England match day. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Obviously, this is far more important. We're talking about things which are club before country. Was that Gareth Bale? I don't know. There we go.
Yeah, club before country. Turn the football off.
Yeah, exactly right.
Or turn the sound down.
All right, yeah, just keep it on in the background. Keep it on your phone. Who knows? Anyway, we have got a lot to get through tonight, Cole. It's show 44. So firstly, happy anniversary. 44. Big 44. Nearly at our 50th. Can you believe it?
I asked last week when our 50th would be. I reckon it's the Bromley game, but I'm not sure.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, pretty much sure it's that one.
Okay. Right.
As always,
what are we gonna do with it special for that? Are we gonna?
We are. I'm not telling you on air, but we are going to do something.
Oh, really?
Yes, we are.
You're not going to do it naked, are you? Not again.
No, we're not doing that again. No, we got shut down.
I just want to tell everybody you sat in your pants last week.
I did. Yeah, I did, and you did the week before. So there we go. There's a friend for you. So James is doing it tonight. There we go.
I'm actually naked from the waist down tonight.
There's just hope there's no fire drill that goes off. Anyway.
Before we go any further, Ollie's just responded and he said, "I'm a bit of a mess, lads, but you boys putting a smile on my face before a tough day tomorrow means the world. Love your legends and all the MK family." I mean,
right back at you, mate.
Yeah, all the best, Doll. I'll see you tomorrow, mate. I'm no doubt we'll have a cuddle or something or other. Just as a reminder as well, there is a wake afterwards at the Abbey Golf Club, I believe. Ollie, could you confirm that? I know we chatted earlier on, but I can't bloody access my bloody iPad tonight.
You've had no issues with that this evening, I'll be honest with you. You've been on and off. If anyone knows how to fix Colin's iPad, please let us know and we'll do it live on air for you, Colin.
It keeps switching off. Bloody thing.
I'm saying nothing. Anyway, before we go into the agenda, obviously, we are here as renewed, Colin, we'll say, renewed, reborn, rechristened, whatever you want to do, because Mr. Casbar has sponsored us yet again.
He has.
This season. So
thank
you, Kaz. Thank you, Kaz. Down at Gate 7 every home game as well. So much appreciated. And couldn't do it without you, Kaz.
Yeah.
And
So it's bad news for at least some of you that we're back. We're here for the whole year.
We are another year, maybe another 2, maybe another 3. Who knows, Cole? We'll just keep going. Anyway, going into tonight's agenda, we're going to talk about how did Warren get it so wrong with Grimsby. So there's that and other things Grimsby related. We're going to talk about the dismal debut. Not often we get a dismal debut, but Kane Wilson, we'll come on to that. We've got Chris Kamara, a.k.a. our very own Luke Payne, review of Grimsby. It's a good one, I won't lie. 5 minutes of in-depth analysis from Mr. Payne. We have as well, we've already mentioned it, was it a red card? Should we have had a penalty? Assessment of the ref. We'll be talking lots about that, so appreciate everyone's input as we get to that. Attendances as well. So one of the things that Colin and I have sort of been chatting about, but was poor results. Does that mean fans won't come? Is there a half-time exodus? talk about it. Love to get your thoughts on that. And
Well, we'll
obviously
talk about that because I'll tell you a funny story about that when we get to it.
Exactly. We've got a guest fan. So we've got Dave back from Legends of the Spy coming on a bit later. So we'll be talking all things Chesterfield for the weekend as well, which it's going to be an interesting one, to be honest.
And
Cole.
as always, if there's anything you want to bring up, raise, talk about, us discuss,
any other business, give us a shout.
any other business, just fire it up on the screen. And if you're watching on Facebook, you really got a better viewing option over on YouTube. So, and we can put your, Matt there has done there, we can put your comments up on the screen.
We can do, unless they're abusive, then we'll keep them up so we can make fun of ourselves. But there we go. Matt says, here, it's probably me buying them all off eBay. I had the 7-8 away shirt worn at Wembley arrive today. Well, that's a nice shirt, to be fair, Matt. He said, already got the 13-14 home one last week with the stripe down the middle and the 11-12 away on order. So there you go.
Wait. That Wembley one, that wasn't number 12, Willie Garay in short sleeve, was it?
Don't. What are you trying to talk about? I know what you're talking about.
No, absolutely nothing. No, Matt, send me a message.
Worth a lot of money,
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Yeah. Intrigued.
Send me a message, Matt. We'll chat shirts.
Yeah, cheers, Ashley.
Bang on the money, Ash, as always. Bang on the money. If it's not the show, it's the software. If it's not the software, it's the hardware. If it's not that, it's his iPad. So there we go.
I've got technology coming out of my ears, mate. I just don't know how to use it.
Exactly. If only you had to plug it in and turn it on. So have you tried switching off and on again? That's the other one. We've got Ash. The only thing the ref got right was the red card. So we'll be coming on to that after the review of the game. But I think there's a lot to be said on that one, Ash. Matt said, looking at the 12-13 shirt now, as that's the first Don shot he ever bought. So there you go. The Grimsby game, we'll come on to some more comments in a minute. I'm probably sure there's a few on the Facebook group as well. But what was your assessment of the Grimsby? I mean, for me, interesting is probably the nicest way to put it, because I just think we set up wrong, completely wrong. A two-man midfield against a very, very capable Grimsby team that will hurt you. It exposed us. Just having Gilby and Lee, I didn't think was the right approach. We had offered from memory, I'm trying to think where he was now, Cole, at right back. He's a centre back or defensive midfielder at best. You had Wilson, coming in as a winger, and he's a right back. So I thought that was strange from the off, just in terms of the team selection. I thought
Hogan was in.
Yeah, Hogan. Yeah, but I was thinking, well, how do you sit them into 4-3-3? I'm wondering if that was done to accommodate Hogan, to be honest, to go 4-4-2
I thought it was more done to accommodate Wilson.
But then again, he was in his wrong position.
But then again, I can't understand why he never played in that. Why? All right, so we're looking at the Grimsby game and we're looking at Warne.
Yeah.
What the hell was he playing at, taking offered away from Sanders? Because Sanders didn't look like the player that we've that we've known this season, that produced so many clean sheets, and then we split that pairing up. I mean, why didn't he go the old hog and put Patterson in goal? I mean, it was what a cock up.
I thought it was an odd one. I'll be honest. I think in his head he was trying to pair the two big men, Sanders and Ekpateta. I think that's where he was going with it, but it didn't work. And for me,
you got it badly wrong, mate.
Yeah. But for me, when we did the changes, and we'll come on to the card in a minute, but when we made some changes, Offord coming off, I thought was the wrong decision, because I'd have put him with Sanders personally. Yeah. I thought that would have been a better option. That's, again, where I think Warne got it wrong was formation-wise and tactically. If he's trying something different, I can understand that, Cole. I mean, obviously, we're going to try different things.
Do you know what I'd have done?
Poor choice against Grimsby, to be honest. Go on.
No, I'm not going to tell you now.
All right, then I won't ask you again.
No, well, I'd have put Wilson in at right back. I'd have kept Offord on and put him next to Sanders. I don't know what I'd have done with Ekpateta, but I'd have took Hogan off. Myself, I'd have took Hogan off because I thought he was totally ineffective. Totally ineffective.
Dreadful.
And like Ashley just said, Grimsby targeted Offord at the right back, was exposed the first half.
Yeah.
All three goals came from down that side. I mean, is it David Artell? Is it at Grimsby?
Yeah.
Absolutely no mug whatsoever. He must have looked at set up and sat there like that. It was a gift, mate. Absolute gift.
It was.
Absolute gift.
It was.
And by the time he sorted it out, it was too late.
I think, yeah. I mean, I think the defending was atrocious for all the goals Scott got. Probably if you've been uber critical, I think it was the second or the third one, second one. McGivery probably should have saved that on balance.
He should have held on to it. That weren't hard. That weren't hard.
Because it was the drop and then it was the tapping, wasn't it? Pretty much. But
let's be honest. Let's be honest. It could have been 5 or 6-0 at half.
It could have been. I was expecting it to be embarrassing.
Easily.
It could have been embarrassing. And I think if again, the quicker the half-time whistle came, the better, really. But I think out of those 3 goals in the first half, the third goal was a good goal from Grimsby. To be fair, I mean they shouldn't have bitten the space and the time, but he took it well. The first 2 were just awful, really soft, really poor.
Well, if you remember, both players went to the midfielder and left the right back position exposed, didn't they?
They did.
For the first one.
Yeah.
Both. I mean, me and Darren at the cowshed, we were screaming to get over there, but.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, Craig just said that. I know Warren said he wanted 4-4-2, but offered petitionally made it a back 3, which threw Sanders and Marv off. No one knew who was covering who. No, I agree completely, Craig. Yeah. It was an absolute S ... show. And yeah, I mean, the post-match comments.
Yeah, and a very good point. No one knew who was covering who. That was exactly right, and that was the first goal all over, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, say Warren's comments post-match. I'm not going to attack the guy at all because it's still early days, and again, he's going to try different things, but he should just come out and just say we got it completely wrong. It was a mess, and I should take ownership for that. And I don't think that came across really. And in a big game, I mean, if you're going to do it against the likes of an Aki Stanley or someone like that, then maybe you might get away with it a little bit more. But this was a big game. We shouldn't have started gambling for me at all. Not at all.
Too many changes in formation, and putting players in. I mean, this is something managers do all the bloody while, playing players out of position. Why is Kane Wilson not in at right back? What was that all about?
Don't know, Cole. Don't know. And again, this is what I find odd because...
Yeah, well, he was on a yellow, actually, but he should never have been playing there in the first place, should he?
No, exactly that. But it's, I don't know, I mean, Wilson, we'll come on to that in a minute, but you can only do what you've been asked by the gaffer to do, and the gaffer's got to take accountability for the positional play.
Well, he did claim it afterwards, didn't he? So...
No. Yeah, he did.
What gets me is the past 2 home games, we've almost been reactive to the situation. Yeah. We go 1-0 down at home to Walsall. Then all of a sudden, it's all us. We're 3-0 down, 10 men, home to Grimsby. We're all over them in the second half. Why does it take a reaction for us at the moment, it seems, to start playing football? To start actually doing what we can do?
Yeah, definitely, James. Definitely. I mean, my worry is when we come on to next week's game, we haven't finished this one yet, but Chesterfield like to play by their wing. The wing backs, the wing play is Chesterfield's kind of style of play. We all know that. And at the moment, we haven't really got the players to do it. So that's a conundrum in itself. That's an issue for me because, if you've got one fullback in theory fit currently or available, let's say, where do you go next? Because that game could be a real banana skin that we've just set ourselves.
Somebody said to me after the game as we were walking out, they said, we seem a little bit lightweight in midfield. And, Mark Timers just said there, Gilby seems to have gone missing recently. Yeah, he has. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, he has.
We've got a couple of comments.
I mean, on that point, because it's a valid point, Mark. Given the fact, I mean, with Gilby, if you were looking at someone else as a potential captain on the pitch, who do you think it is? Who do you think has been the most vocal? Who do you think is someone that would?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't notice that. I don't know. I know you do, but I don't really notice who's waving their arms about saying you should do that. All I saw on Saturday was a group of players pointing at each other, saying, "Well, who got him? Who was marking him?"
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I saw. Exactly. I never saw anybody after that first goal saying, "Come on, lads, we need to bloody sort this out. You cover him. You cover him. That's your job. Get over there." But yeah, like you said, James, 1-0, heads were down, mate.
Yeah, they all walked back, heads down, and you sort of knew at that point, or you could guess what was to come, and it came.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of comments actually on the Facebook.
James, go for it, please.
Yeah, Ollie says, yes, lads, Abbey Hill Golf Centre fairway suite tomorrow for Stickman. Sheila's in.
Yeah.
Sheila's
Sheila.
in. She says, nearly missed you. Too busy watching the England game. So
yeah, I know it's boring though, Sheila, isn't it? 20 minutes gone, 0-0.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Grant says wrong setup. Grant says wrong setup with Offord and too soon for Wilson. I thought it was going to be 6-0 at one point.
Do you know what it felt to me like? Do you know what it felt to me like?
Last season?
Well, yeah, it felt like last season, but it almost felt like Warren was doing a bit of an old pals act. Yeah, you go over there, mate. You know, you were with me last, a couple of seasons ago, sort of. No player's bigger than the bloody club. Let's not start pissing around with formations just to put in Warren's old pals, Dear, dear.
No, it did feel like a little bit.
That's like
Sorry,
playing
James,
the manager's son on a Sunday morning.
Ollie then says, when we went 3-0 down, I was like, oh my God, Warney experiment went badly wrong. Simple as that. I mean, possibly.
Yep. No, I'll take that. I mean, again, Ollie, we'll have to wait and see, but I think we've not done ourselves any favours for the weekend by having a player sent off on the fullbacks. They're a wing play team. We're going to struggle unless we really sort our act out. But anyway, James,
that's all right. That's all right. South Don says, can't understand how Hogan has gone top of Warren's list, not been producing for so long. I mean, we've said it before, flashes of brilliance, take the goal last season. But yeah, I would tend to agree. And it always bugs me. We said it before. When he goes up for a header, he doesn't jump. He always relies on the defender to make a mistake every single time.
Lazy play, James. Lazy play. You know me, and I know I'm not going to attack an individual, but I don't like him as a footballer in general. I thought his attitude at Port Vale last season did it for me, and there's no coming back from that. I thought it was disgusting the way he was with the fans. He's not done anything since to really endear himself. I know he's probably got a few off-field issues, and hasn't everyone. But you're an ex-championship player. You were there for a reason. Maybe it's about time you start.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I hate to say this phrase, but he's stealing a living.
He is. He's robbing a living, Carl. I've said it from day one.
If he was your girlfriend, mate, you'd bin him.
Well, add insult to injury. And I said to a lot of you last season when we got rid of Matt Dennis, yes, he can be lazy, but he puts him in the net. Look what he's doing for Notts County. Yeah. I mean, it's just incredible. We keep a player that's proven nothing, or probably on more than double the wage of Matt Dennis. Matt Dennis has gone and scored goals, funnily enough, because that's what he did for us in the cup games. And that's what he's capable of. And that's what we need. It's just someone that can put it in the back of the net. And we've got someone who allegedly played championship football with a great career who can't even turn up in League Two, the same as Mo Iser, and Lecco's another one we could go on to. I'm sorry, but if you're playing for this club, the level of play that we've now got, the players that have come in the door, you need to step up. Take your opportunity with both hands and do not stand on that pitch with your head down just because things aren't going your way. For goodness sakes, you're in a position a lot of us fans would kill to be in that position. So take some pride and bloody well wearing that shirt and putting the effort in and stop dropping your head. I'm sick of it, Cole. Sick of seeing players drop their heads at the first sign of difficulty. Be proud to wear that badge. Keep your head up. Keep going. There's a lot of players out there, to be fair, in the second half who did, but he was not one of them. Sorry,
no. I mean, Saturday for me was that felt worse than last season. Terrible, absolutely awful.
Yeah. I mean, I think our attitude as fans has maybe shifted. Say last season, Scott Hogan was the signing at the time that we needed, arguably. 100%. But now, obviously, we've had this summer. We're obviously willing to spend money. So the quality of player has shifted. He would not be someone I would put on the team sheet now, but last season, yes. And I think you mentioned Lecco. Lecco, for me, would be another example.
Yeah.
Where does he fit into the team? He's not getting in the team. But last season, we'd have him in the starting 11 should he have been fit. So I think
James, the thing
shifted
for
our
me,
mentality.
Is Mendes Lang back
I
on
think the thing
Saturday?
for me,
I
I think
so.
he is. I think he's, as is Aaron Collins, by the way, if he's
right.
fit. He should be fit for Saturday, so that's something. But
That's
for
screwed
me,
Hogan. That's screwed
Lecco,
Hogan up, then.
yeah, but for me, Lecco has done exactly what he always does. He sulks. He's a moody player. He's got ability, James. The difference with him and Hogan is when he's on a good day and he does it, he can do it. The problem with Lecco is he is not consistent and he is an emotional player. If he's not up for it, he's not up for it. And he seems to be not up for it far more than he is. What I'm a little bit frustrated about, and again, appreciate he's come back from quite a big injury, but you've got to put the effort in and grab your chance. When he got subbed on a few weeks ago, he just came on like this, head down, walking out. Just look at the body language. You know, it's like, that's not good enough. I'm sorry, it's not. You should be rubbing your hands, ready to go, jumping on that pitch, going, I've got my opportunity. Now let me go and show something.
I mean,
you look at Crowley as an example. Crowley's come on, makes an impact. You know, so there are players that come on and can make an impact and take the opportunity. And he is not, again, one of them. And I go back to the point. You look at Isa, you look at Lecco. They both felt that they were too good for League Two the season we went down. Well, one of them now plays in Iran for God knows who FC. And the other one thinks he's got a God-given right to be in the League One or Championship. Well, show it.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. You want to go, get on the pitch and show it. Talk's cheap. There's no action. You're just one of those. You're just another, prima donna. You want to come on and say you're too good for League Two, then why did you re-sign for us if you were too good? Because no one else came in for him. That's the reality, Cole. No one else wanted him.
I mean, I know
so I'm sorry.
The big injury, and I get that he is wary of, injuring. I can't remember what he did. It was his leg or something. He's wary of injuring his leg. It could.
I agree, Luca. What is me keep agreeing with
Luca? But yeah, you've got to start showing what you can do at some point. He's been back for a good while now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to give the impression that after a few... Oh, he should have scored.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, how did he not score? Harry Kane missed from 2 yards out. Well done, Harry.
Yeah, Craig, I agree with that comment, by the way. Now he's back. I think he will be off the bench.
I said that's Hogan's cupboard. If Collins is back, he'd forget it.
Well, the problem for that is, and again, Craig, to your point, is he's had the opportunity to make an impact. He's not embraced it, and he's shown his body language. He doesn't care, mate. Yeah. So it's no great loss. The only sad thing here is that we're paying him a wage to do nothing.
And probably a big wage.
So I'd love to understand what he's doing in training that we're all missing.
Okay, we've knocked a few players. We've given our opinion, but Grant has said,
that's what we're here for.
Grant has said, let's be positive.
We're always positive.
Are we?
He is liking Connor Lemon at the moment. And
I
wasn't sure on him to start with, but I tell you what, he came on Saturday and he did a bloody shift and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, James, and this is the enigma, and this is another one of these situations, right? And again, Grant, to your point, because I agree with you on this 100%. There is a player there that, if you remember, the end of last season came in and made an impact. I felt came in to when new managers come in, had a few games, making a bit of a decent impact. Pre-season made quite a decent impact. Gets to the season, and you've got robbers for a living like Lecco and Hogan getting on the pitch ahead of him. So explain to me when there's someone who has proven the end of last season, in pre-season, but doesn't get on very often. That's the bit that frustrates me, is if you've got players that are showing the willingness and the ability, which, again, Warner said from day one, if you remember, no one's guaranteed first place in my team. It's about ability. Well, I'm sorry, at the moment, I've seen 2 Jobsworths get on the pitch and one who can do it in Lemonhay Evans, who generally excites me, the same as you, Grant. Not really getting much of an opportunity, but he made an impact. He made a difference.
And why is
he made
Warren
a huge
not
difference.
Seeing this? Why? I mean, because the jury was out for Lemonhay Evans, but what I've seen of him this season, he's come on and done a job. Yeah. If you're watching, Con, well done, boy.
No, absolutely. But there you go. Lucas says, I hate to say this, I think Lecco needs to go in the summer. I don't hate to say it, mate, it's just a fact. Maybe January if we're lucky. He's a fan favourite. Lecco doesn't know what to do, makes a couple of touches, and that's it. Yeah, it's lazy.
I reckon he'll be loaned out. I reckon he'll be loaned out in January. Or go.
Colin, the difference is, you and I know, and James know, and everyone watching, for the last for quite a few seasons, we've been beg, stealing and borrowing to get a squad together and then selling those ones that are maybe good and come good. We've changed that mindset now. We have the ability and the luxury, which few teams don't at this level, is to bring players in of quality to make an impact. So quite frankly, if you're not going to do that, or you're not here because you don't want to be here, or you're not up for it, just go. Just go, because I don't want to see players on that pitch doing anything less than 100% win, lose, or draw. Quite frankly. Lucas, sorry, go on. I say Lucas said Paul needs to make a few changes, needs to get MK back to the start of the season, stop playing Offord at right back. Yeah, agree. Also drop Hogan, play Collins, Patterson together. That will be interesting, to be fair, with them both back in play. Because I wouldn't drop Patterson for a minute, to be honest. So it'd be interesting to see how that works.
Not in a million years.
Yeah, exactly. Why play 5 at the back? So I'm excited. I think the fact that, Aaron Collins coming back, it will probably raise Patterson's game, and we've got options.
I think it's a great shame that he experimented in this game, but I'm going to say, hopefully, that's taught him a lesson. Don't bugger around with Offord and Sanders again.
Well, what about the old saying, Cole? If it's not broke,
that's right.
Don't fix it.
You've got you've got a back line there that's conceded very few goals, and all of a sudden he starts messing around with it and he concedes.
Yeah. So I mean, before we go into our Luke Payne preview,
that should be a penalty.
Colin's talking about the England game. Just penalty. Just tuned in.
Look like didn't it?
Yeah, we had that on Saturday as well, right?
We had a couple of these Saturday. Should have been penalty.
Exactly. Anyway, I want to talk about the ref before we get to Luke's review. But for me, a tale of two cities almost, Cole. I think
Harry Kane.
There you go. You heard it first. For me, the ref got it. The inconsistency levels at maximum, really, for me, because I thought everything we did, we got, penalised for. And Grimsby, you look at Grimsby, they had a high boot, if you remember.
Yep.
There was the handball, set shout. They got nothing, not even a talking to. So, I mean, consistency of refereeing, we've talked about this season, but I thought during that game was atrocious. The fact that we got a red card from Mellish, on the letter of the law, it was a red. It was a high boot. It wasn't, in contact
made
with
a fair
anyone.
bit of it, didn't he?
He did, but it wasn't a contact. There was no contact.
No.
But for me, if you're going to do that, why is there not one or some sort of form of punishment for Grimsby for the high boot and for the handball? Ultimately, Cole, that's for me where I get frustrated. It's not the first time this season that.
I said, this is one of the pitfalls of being in League Two. You're going to get newbie referees. This guy hadn't done 10 games in the EFL in his career. He's going to be nervous. He's going to be nervous.
Shouldn't matter if he's not done 10 games. I think the standard of the conference is just as high as the standard in League Two. So, I get your point. But I'm agreeing with you. But
get rid of him, Aiden.
Matter.
It's all right. You're allowed to do your comment, James. Don't be silly.
On Saturday, you'll be pleased to know we've got an experienced ref.
We have. That'll be a first.
Ed Duckworth, or Ed the Duck, as he's called. Ed Duckworth.
Ed the Duck, I know Ed the Duck. I mean, I think for me, Cole, and I just say about that ref is that I thought that I'm not saying it would have changed the result because I thought we'd done enough damage and didn't help ourselves whatsoever. But I think even if one of those decisions with the high boot or the handball was done, maybe. I mean, we were inches away from Sanders saving the day at the death.
Yeah.
What about another thing as well? When was the last time you saw a game with 6 substitutions in the second half, a number of injuries, and he played 3 minutes additional time?
I know, it's incredible.
He was,
and that's what I'm going back to. My view of that ref is he's biased, and someone should watch that game back. And I'm not just saying that.
And he was
ginger.
James, will you behave yourself?
It's like Soccer Saturday.
As a reformed ginger, I'm not saying that. Sorry, James.
It's like Soccer Saturday.
It is, mate. But no, I just think it was inconsistent. If you watch that game back, anyone watching that game back, I don't understand how he can give us the decisions he gave us and let them get away with pretty much everything. I think That's where I get frustrated. People make mistakes. People might not see things, but to me, it was flat out biased, and I think dreadful refereeing. Dreadful
Great
refereeing.
run.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I think.
Do you want me to carry on this show? You guys carry on with
you
it.
carry on.
was
We'll watch the
consistent.
football.
He was consistently
Consistently bad.
No, consistently inconsistent.
Consistently bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but James, this is the thing. If it was both ways, I'd a little bit more, but it wasn't. It was all against us and all giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Let's not forget we got a dodgy penalty the other week.
Yeah, but we're talking about this game, Cole, not that one.
Okay.
But yeah, it grinds my gears. It really does.
Well, look, we've got Ed Duckworth on Saturday. Hopefully, that's a little bit better, but it's no guarantee. But he's very experienced. This is his about 3rd year in the EFL, so
it is, which will be something.
Yeah,
it'll be something at least. But,
go on, play Luke
we'll
Payne.
see.
Let's have a listen.
We'll play Luke Payne. It gives you a chance to watch the rest of
We'll
England.
go for a week.
We'll see you in 5. Run VT.
Right, we've got another game to cover, and this time, unfortunately, it is the Grimsby defeat. There's a lot to dissect here, but to put it in simple terms, Paul 1 got this one horribly wrong. Yeah, I was looking at the lineup when it got announced, and I was trying to figure out how we'd make it work as a 4-3-3. Would we be shifting Luke Offord into holding midfield, shifting Kelly forward, and then playing Hogan as a winger or something along those lines? But it turned out we weren't playing a 4-3-3 at all, and we'd switched to a 4-4-2, playing Offord at right back despite being a centre back, playing Wilson as a winger despite being a right back, and then leaving Gilby and Kelly as a 2-man midfield against Kieran Green, Evan Corey, and George McEachran, which was a huge, huge mistake, because Grimsby are very, very good. They're a very strong side. They move the ball quickly and effectively, and I mean we saw that, and we found out the hard way very quickly because we were 3-0 down in about 30 minutes. And ultimately, I mean, the defending is poor for all the goals. I do think the system is the main sort of problem as to how those goals came about. I know Warren kind of disagrees with that a little bit, but then he did also take ownership, so fair play. But I think they were all quite preventable goals, to be honest. I mean, the first one, Offord stepped up, Ekpatetis then had to follow him, and we've been left with a bit of a weird rotation that shouldn't have happened. Vernon's got through down the right, and then somehow the attackers got in ahead of Sanders, and then the second and third goals. I mean, McGillivray should save the second one. Let's be real, but poor from the centre backs to not track back, and really poor from Offord to not close the man down and to get done by the same shimmy that beat Liam Kelly for the first goal, and then to get beaten by the same trick 6 minutes later for the third goal as well. So really disappointing from a defensive point of view because we're capable of defending better than that. And then obviously we had the whole thing with the red card. Frustrating one because there's no contact. There's not even remotely close to being any contact for that situation, but at the same time can understand it's a dangerous challenge and Mellish shouldn't have done it. And the less said about the ref, the better, because obviously there was a high boot later in the game that wasn't even given us a talking to, and then the whole handball thing as well. Unfortunately, just a couple of big decisions going against us. And ultimately, but that's not the reason we lost. As much as the official was poor, we can't blame that for the defeat. We just weren't good enough, and I mean, credit to Grimsby, they are a very good side. But let's be positive for a little bit as well, because I think the second half was commendable. Paul Warren finally figured out that he needed 3 men in midfield, and despite being a man down and Grimsby taking their foot off the gas, I thought we looked quite good in that half. And yes, we didn't create many chances, but we were unlikely to in that situation. But we made the most of what we had. Every time there was a set piece, everyone's forward. And we managed to get a couple of goals from it. And we were a couple of inches from a Jack Sanders overhead kick equaliser. There wasn't that much in it. So to come back in that fashion, I don't think there are many sides that could score a couple of goals in the situation we're in, being 3-0 down and a man down. So we do deserve a bit of credit for that. But ultimately, I think this game is just a valuable lesson for Warren. Not to mess with a system that works, and also just to trust some of the other players. I think Conor Lemonhay-Evans had a fantastic game. I think we're getting closer to the point where we can start playing Crowley a bit more as well. You know, there are positive signs there as well, despite an absolutely horrendous first half. And the only other thing I would add to the shape that we started with in the first half, I know Warren was saying that he was trying to press their two centre-backs, but ultimately Grimsby don't like crosses. And we played our wingers deeper as a result of the formation change, therefore making it harder to get crosses into the box, which again proved it to be a poor decision. And both of our goals came from, well, one was a long throw, but has the same effect as a cross. So yeah, this disappointing in that regard, but hopefully a big lesson learned heading into what is going to be a tough game against Chesterfield. They like to use their wingers, and we've got one fullback, so we've got a bit of a conundrum to solve there. But I'll let you guys discuss that. Come on, you dons.
Can't
As
argue
always.
with any of that.
No.
I wish we could. I don't like the bloke. I'm only
Well, we know
joking.
that's
I
not
like
true.
Luke. He's a great guy.
Anyway, we had a couple of comments while that show was going on, and we'll come on to. But Mark said, if you say bias, I assume you mean cheat. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not afraid to say it. I thought the guy just one short of pulling out an AFC shirt or something like that. I just thought he was disgusting, to be quite honest. But that's just me. I've never seen. Well, I say I've never seen. I've seen a lot of League Two refs, but I've never seen something recently as crap as that. To be honest, for refereeing, it was ridiculous. It was all one-sided, and not just for us, by the way, but any team. If you're getting a ref that's being one-sided and not making mistakes both ways, I'm sorry, I'm finding that hard to understand how that's a mistake. That's calculated, and that needs to be called out and brought to book for any team.
Yeah, I agree. He weren't good by any stretch of the imagination, but we were the creators of our own downfall. You know, we were the architects of our downfall. I just want to say, Lou QB1, well done for spelling Patterson correct. First person tonight.
It's true. It's true. But no, he's quite right. I mean, to see Patterson, I know he's versatile because he's played all over in his career. He's a bit of a Mr. Flexibility, as I call him. But I thought he did really well. And it's great comments, great call out. And, again, this again shows another player and a difference. You've got players like Hogan coming on doing Jack Diddley. You've got someone like Patterson going and doing a job in right back position and doing a really good job and making a difference. And that's the night and day I keep talking about between mentality and approach. If you've got a positive mentality, give it all on the pitch. Look at Patterson, Mr. Hogan, because there is a lesson in how to play football.
All right.
And
Before we roll our Grimsby, Chesterfield guest out, would you enter
in the green room?
In the green room, lovely. Would you entertain putting Patterson at right back and Wilson at left at left back this week?
I mean, it's given the fact he played well, it's hard to argue against it, Cole. But then all hinges on.
Remember,
for me, all hinges on if Collins
have Collins and Mendes Lang back.
That's what I'm saying. If Collins is fit, to be fair, and special mention, I thought Hepburn Murphy played pretty well up front.
And bloody hell, did that kid put effort in?
Yeah, I think he went off with cramps, to be honest. But again, Mr. Hogan, take a look at the sort of player, the mentality. Maybe you could learn something again. But, I wouldn't say no to it. I mean, it's not ideal because I think he's a far more impactful player up the top. But if needs must and Aaron's back, that gives us options, Cole. That gives us options. And again, it's great to have players who are willing to put a shift in anywhere on the park to serve the cause. And for me, he's been standout pretty much since the day he walked in the club.
Well, you can't fault him. I mean, he's up for every header. He's tracking back, You can't ask more from the guy, really. Like you say, people like Hogan should be taking a good look at him. And
mate, maybe you think I'm being extreme, but I'd have cancelled his contract after that. I'd have just said, you don't want to be here. It's obvious. Off you go. Go and find something else. There's plenty of frees out there, up front. If you want to go, you could cancel. You've got Wickham. You've got Chuckson-Ike. You've got Patrick Bamford. It's probably a bit of a tall order. Bit of a tall order. But there are players out there.
Yeah.
There are players
I
out
mean,
there.
I think there's a vacancy as a groundsman at MK Dons. You could do that, That'd probably be the most turf he'll ever recovered. Lazy bastard.
Yeah, I said that. Patterson said sit into a back three somewhere.
Chuckson-Ike's gone to Shrewsbury.
Has he gone there now?
When?
Oh well, he had a good career till then, James. But best of luck.
Oh, did he?
Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, needs must for them. To be fair, they're not in the best of positions. Craig said Nemain will be left back and Wilson be right back. That's his thoughts. Come Saturday, so we'll have a think. But I don't think you're wrong on that, Craig. To be honest, Ryan's joined us evening. Ryan, he said Hogan needs to work on his attitude. I think there's some things that not even anything. You can lead a horse to water. You can't make it drink. Right. You can make a guy play football. You can't change his attitude, Ryan. That's down to him to do. Unfortunately, so he reckons that Hogan needs to leave. We've also got Ash saying Stephen Fletcher is out there for a free transfer. That's very true. That's very true.
That's a brave one.
Ashley, could you confirm what we do about free transfers? Yeah, like out of contract players. Can we bring them in?
Yeah.
You can bring them in.
Yeah.
At any time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got your 23 squad, so you'd have to drop someone to bring them in.
We could cancel Hogan's contract.
I'd cancel Hogan, Lecco, and there's a few others, but we can
cancel. Right, okay. Mr. Fahad, cancel Hogan's contract.
Yeah.
He's watching.
If you think you've got problems, there's the problem for you, Mr. Fahad. Yeah, indeed. Lemonhead Evans at right back and Nemain at left back for me. Nemain did well there versus Crawley. Yep, to be fair, Matt, that was very true. And Ryan says, I also think we need a midfielder. To be fair, I think we did.
Yeah.
I think we did.
Wouldn't argue with that, Ryan.
James, any comments on the Facebook before we bring in our esteemed guest?
Grant said about the Shrewsbury game, there were so many crosses that went to the far post of the goal or into empty space. We just didn't connect.
Is that it?
Yeah.
No, it's true. It's true.
I've got a question for Grant. Why are you not watching on YouTube, Grant?
We're going to wait for the response. No, not at all. Okay. Not at all. But no, all good points. I think, as I say, before we bring Dave on, it's going to be an interesting game for both sides.
Well, I think they need a win as much as we need a win. I mean, it is going to be an interesting game. But
before we discuss that, let's bring Dave in. Dave, thank you so much for joining us and welcome back to the show.
Thanks very much. Nice to see you again.
Is this your second visit?
It is, yeah. Second visit, yeah.
It is.
Oh, hang on. Oh, wow. I was going to get your hat-trick ball out, but no.
Not quite.
That's next time.
No, last time's left foot. This can be right foot. Next time can be header, and I'll have a
all right, okay.
There you go. Job done.
Is that you're just going to sit there now, Aidan?
Sorry, Carl, I thought you were going to say something now. No, I thought you were going to say something. You were about to jump on, but no. I mean, Dave. Firstly, thanks for like I said, thanks for joining. Great to have you back on. I mean, obviously, before we get into like the weekend's game, how have you assessed? Obviously, sort of the closed window for Chesterfield, sort of the season so far. If you're going to sort of give it a rating out of 10.
Oh, to be honest, I feel a little bit flat at the moment. At this time of this season, and it's probably because like the season before last we won the National League and it was fantastic, and then last year felt like a bit of a free hit. Everyone kind of enjoyed getting back in the league again, and it was kind of no pressure, and it was great. We got in the playoffs, but then this season it kind of feels like a bit more pressure is kind of on there to kind of perform, especially when bookies kind of say that you're going to do really well. And we had kind of a few marquee signings, and that Dylan Markande came back, which we were all really hoping might happen, and things like that. But in none of the 7 games so far have we really hit like top form. We've kind of shown glimpses of what the team can do, but it's just not quite there. And I don't know. It's just kind of left me. I don't know if this is just me personally or whether others will feel the same at Chesterfield, but it just feels a little bit flat at the moment, and it feels like we need a game that's like a a last minute winner, or you come back from 2-0 down to win, or something like that, to
have that
kind of
next
like
week.
put a bit of a rocket in the season, because at the moment it just feels like it's all right. And it's kind of, I was thinking before I came on, this is like the underachiever derby, but at this stage of the season. But at the same time, we're kind of on the 2-point average that you want to kind of get promoted. So it feels weird that we're kind of at the points that you kind of want to be on, but at the same time, it doesn't really feel like we're doing anything special yet.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
I think for me, Dave, and I don't know if it's just if you feel this, but when I look at the league table, see Bromley there, I'm just thinking all the effort and the players that you've got at disposal. It just seems like, just proves it doesn't, it doesn't give you any God-given right to be anywhere. But no, I think similar for us. I've looked at that. I'm generally excited by our squad and Paul Warne this season. I think they come in the end of last season, which was a complete write-off for us. He's made an impact. And the ingredients are there. And I said to, say, Colin, and when we talked to us at the start of the season, for me in the top three, no particular order, I had us, your good selves, and Gillingham as probably the three that would finish in those top three spots. But a few dark horses have surprised me so far. I think there's still early days for both of our teams. I think
there's only about 40 games left.
Well, exactly. There's going to be a lot of football played before the end of it. But yeah, like I said, I've kept an eye on obviously Chesterfield as well, and same as us. It's like the ingredients are there, but it just doesn't feel like they're in top gear yet. It's almost like they're just still trying to find their way. And I think for us as well, we've this weekend just gone against Grimsby. Paul Warne changed the formation to 4-4-2. It didn't work, so I think he's trying to gamble there. But do you feel the same with Cookie? Has he tried to change formations, change tactics, try different things in the early start of the season? Maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of. I guess it's one of those things for both of our clubs at the moment. You need a bit of patience, don't you? Because we've had, I think, 10 new signings that have come in, and we had some really established kind of fan favourite players that have got us back into the league that have moved on. And they've been replaced by people we don't really have an affinity yet, or like a fan player relationship with yet. So therefore, you don't really give them like the rub of the green when things go wrong. You can be quite quick to be critical. And I think we're probably at the point where we've got a really great squad like yours, but we don't really have the team at the moment. And it will probably take, like it always does, an injury to who you think is a key player, and someone who's a bit more of a fringe player comes in and actually makes all of the team click. I think like we've had
that happened
like
to us the other year with Max Dean.
There you go.
Max Dean was our fifth choice striker, and all of a sudden we ended up with basically just Max Dean. Max Dean come in and went bang, and our season just took off, didn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing how it can happen, isn't it? And we've got players like Liam Mandeville, who down the years has been so dependable, who's not currently in the team, he's on the bench. And there's like me and others that are thinking, well, really players like that need to be in the team, because he's the guy that kind of raises the effort levels and the passion of everyone else in the team. He kind of leads by example on the pitch. And I feel like at the moment, some of our leaders on the pitch are on the bench, and therefore it can kind of seep into a bit of a way the team plays. So I think it's probably for both of our clubs a bit of patience required while we kind of get to know each other and let things gel. But it doesn't stop the frustrations in the meantime, doesn't it?
No, I mean, again, obviously, I think the thing, and something again, just to call out as well. Obviously, your co-owner Phil Kirk recently passed away due to cancer. I think in August, and again, our condolences to everyone connected to Chesterfield for that horrible thing. But yeah, first invest in the club in 2022 alongside his brother Ashley. So, do you feel that's had an impact off the field slightly, Dave, or do you think that's not really something the players would be affected by as much because some of them are newer? Just it's sometimes it's not the obvious things, I think, is that can have an effect as well and steer people's attentions elsewhere ultimately.
I think it has a bit. Yeah, we had a really rubbish week last week in that first we had the Crawley game which ended 2-2, another interesting referee and stuff like that. But we came back from 2-0 down. But before the game, there was a really lovely tribute from like all of the staff came out around the pitch, and they did a really great kind of minutes applause, because they were kind of the best owners you could possibly have are the kind of the guys that go away and make the fortune and then decide to come back and kind of invest in the club. And I think anyone in life that can leave a bit of a legacy to others, you've got to kind of hand it to them, haven't you? So we had that, and then we got absolutely pumped 7-1 at Crewe with our very makeshift second team. And then we had a really disappointing defeat at Walsall where we didn't have a single shot on target, despite them
They're
being
a funny
down to
team,
10 men.
Walsall, aren't they?
70%
They're really
possession.
hard to break down.
Oh, they're horrible. We've played them like what? We obviously had them in the playoffs as well. I'm sick of the sight of Walsall. Can't stand them.
You're not the only one. You're not the only
I
one.
thought when we nabbed their midfielder, it'd help us out a bit, but it didn't at all. And it was frustrating. Like the last game was the really frustrating one, I think, for fans, because we had 70% possession. They were down to 10 men for a while. And it was only like the 92nd minute when we decided to just pump some crosses in and see what happened. And we created 2 really good chances. For the rest of the match, we were trying to dilly-dally around the edge of the 18-yard box. And it kind of seemed like the easiest job in the world to be a defender for Walsall that day. So I think we've come off the back of a bit of a rubbish week. But actually, before then, we were doing all right. So I think they'll get back on track again. But I think it's a pivotal few weeks because we had Walsall obviously last weekend. We've got you guys this weekend, and then we've got Bromley away the week after. So it was three really hard games. You can easily lose all 3 of those matches, and then you find yourself in a bit of a situation.
We never thought we'd be sitting here at this stage, would we, saying Bromley's hard game of the season? But yeah, you're right. You know,
having been toe to toe with them for years in the National League, I completely expected it. And I think Andy Woodman's the best manager in the league. I'd much prefer Bromley to be top of the league than Gillingham. They're anti-football.
Yeah, I'll go with you on that.
Stuff you 4-1, didn't they?
Yeah. They did, and but again with that one, first 2 penalties, we went 2-0 down because of 2 penalties, of which we then got an apology from the referee the week after saying none of them were penalties.
Nice,
so we've had 3 penalties against us this season where we've had apologies from the referee. So it's like one of those seasons where you think, ugh. And then you get Gillingham fans going, oh, well, that means we would have still beat you 2-1. It's like, well, coming from 2-0 down to, it's a bit different, isn't it? But
what we're talking about referees, we have. I mean, I don't know how long you've been watching in the green room, but we were slagging off the referee from Saturday, and it's just, every week, mate. Every week. I mean, we did get a gift off of a referee the other day, but generally, I'd say most of the games we've played this season, it's been bloody. They've been awful.
Yeah, we've had 2 red cards for opposition players against us that were both really soft. We've had 3 penalties against us where we've had apologies afterwards, and it's kind of, I don't really mind them getting a 50-50 wrong or something like that, because areas are open for interpretation. But there's things where they book things or they give decisions, and you think, have you ever actually watched a game of football before? Like, because something seems so on another planet. And if it was me, and I know I'm probably in a complete minority, I would take away probably 70% of the rules of football and make the rules of football really dead simple, and actually instead just go back to an era of, you have some referees that are really strict and some are quite lenient, and you kind of know where you stand. And actually, I remember back in the day, like Uriah Rennie, he'd always dish out the yellow cards and the red cards. You knew he liked doing it, and there was others that were the complete opposite. But at least you know where you stood. Whereas I feel like there's a lot of referees now that their instinct is not to do something, but the rules tell them they have to do something, and they get a bit caught up in the head, and before you know it, the opportunity's gone and they've not given the penalty, or they've blown the whistle and they thought, oh heck, why have I blown the whistle? And I feel like they should just strip a lot of it back and just make it simpler. But I know everyone kind of loves to hate VAR and discussing referees and stuff like that, don't they? It's all a bit of it is very frustrating. Paul Cook's been booked, I think, in every game, and he's said this week that he's not going to interact with referees anymore because he's getting in trouble too much. So he said he's going to sit on the bench and not interact with referees, and I expect it to last.
Well, let's see how that works.
2 seconds.
We might keel over
Paul
with the
Ward will
heart.
be having fun on Saturday.
Boys, did Warney get booked on Saturday?
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't think it was hit.
I thought it was him. The yellow card. One of them did.
Somebody
Ash,
got.
One of the coaches got booked.
Oh, right,
I don't
okay.
think it was Paul Warren.
Somebody got booked. We know that.
I might be wrong.
Okay.
yeah, it's strange. It's strange. Lucas said that. I mean, again, he's quite right, by the way. But he said Paul Cook's a quality coach. I don't disagree with that one bit. I think he's an excellent coach. He's done so. I mean, fantastic things for Chesterfield. I mean, I remember when he brought Portsmouth up from League Two. The stuff he's done at Wigan. I mean, his quality speaks for itself.
Yeah, he had a bit of a rough time at Ipswich, but
Yeah, but then I think he was done dirty. A lot of managers went there
Yeah,
and done
yeah.
dirty, Cole. But I mean, with that in mind, obviously, I wouldn't say difficult start, Dave, because it's probably too extreme. But you get the point. It's an inconsistent start. If, and I use the word if, it's the same thing I'd pose to Paul Warren. If it did become one of those seasons, do you think that the board would stick with him and give him the benefit of the doubt ultimately?
Yeah, I think so. I think the board would definitely stick with him. I think the only thing that would happen is if we had a really rubbish patch of form, then, I mean, it always raises its head sometimes. You'll get fans going, oh, well, he's not got a plan B, because he's very much 4-2-3-1, plays the same way. He has a philosophy that he believes in and he sticks with it, which I completely respect. But there's times where you kind of think it's crying out for a, like I saw on the chat, like Steve Fletcher or someone like that, fling them on and throw balls at them and see what comes off the face of their arse. You know, it's like, but he won't do that kind of thing. So I think if ever he was to leave, it would be because the fans started to get on his back and he just had enough of it and he'd probably walk away himself. But I think for 99% of Chesterfield fans, we'd be quite happy if he was the manager for the next 10 years. Because like you say, he builds a nice culture around your club. And he kind of signs players on the basis of them being good people. I think there's probably similarities with him and Paul Warren and others from that point, and that they're like looking at people and personalities as much as players, and that kind of things are important to them. So
yeah, Warney said that about when he's been signing people on. He's been interested in a certain player. He got him down the club, and he sat talking to him, and he said almost straight away, he thought to himself, "You're not the man I'm looking for," you know, because of his attitude or what, you know, his responses. I don't know, but yeah. So
yeah,
you
you
know,
can see Cook and Warren being the type of coaches that call each other up before they sign someone and say, "Oh, what was he like?" And if he's a bit of a wrong, and then they don't go near him. So
yeah, you can see that, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, I mean, we've not ever since Paul Cook's been manager with us in however many Indies, 2 spells with us now. We've never not finished in the playoffs. We've always either finished in the playoffs or won the league. So he's got a hell of a record to maintain, and I'm sure we'll be top 7 or thereabouts come end of the season.
Maybe I'm speaking too soon, but I think both our clubs will be celebrating come the end of the season, Dave. I still think there's lots to shake out, and obviously the longer a season goes, the more players, the more injuries, etc. Things happen. So, like I say, I mean that leads it quite nicely, and obviously to this weekend's game, because I think it's big 3 points for both teams. I know it's still early doors, but for us, we're only 4 points off the top, and again for you, it's similar scenario. So. I mean, how do you? I mean, obviously you're at home. You've got home advantage. How do you see this game playing out? You know, do you see this one as one that Cookie's going to have to be very careful how he sets up? Do you think he's going to change how you set up for that one versus how you play other teams, or do you think it will just be more of the same?
I guarantee we will play an incredibly high line with our 38-year-old and 33-year-old centre backs, which doesn't sound dangerous at all, does it, or mad at all? But
yeah, but hang on a minute. Carl McFadzean, he's your 38-year-old, isn't he?
Yeah.
The guy's a bloody legend to me.
Evergreen.
You know,
his brain's still a lot faster than his legs, so that's kind of what you need, isn't it?
I mean, I can remember Carl McFadzean one day. He went in for a challenge. He fell down on his hands and knees. The ball was about a foot away from his head. The bloke came in to side foot it, and McFadzean put his head there. I mean, the guy's, guy's an animal, I mean,
and McFadzean and Dunkley, they're both the types. When you look at them, the noses point in 8 different directions, so you kind of know that you're in good hands when you've got centre halves that look that bashed up. So we will play a very high line. So it's guaranteed. I don't think either team will keep a clean sheet. There's no chance. So I can see it being quite a few goals in the game, and it's obviously contrasting kind of formations a little bit. So there'll be each other's strengths will be each other's weaknesses probably, and we have a habit. I think it's interesting listening to you early on. You're talking about how you were saying why do we have to be reactive and we can't be the team that goes out and takes the game by the bull of the horns at the start of the match? And we've been like that. There's been so many games this season where we've gone in at halftime losing, or we've had a really poor first 20 minutes and it's kind of set the pace of the match. And then we finish a match really strong, but don't quite have enough time to then get the draw or get the win.
And you're
so it
still
feels
sure
like-
it's going to be a really good, exciting game? Because
I think
based
so.
on what we've been watching in our first half and based on what you've been watching in your first half, I could have been bored shitless by 45 minutes.
Absolutely. It could be atrocious. There could be just two teams stood in their own halves thinking, what do we do? Like, let them do
what
something.
do I do?
I just hope, like you've alluded to, that we don't get a referee that's just going to spoil it by just...
We got Ed Duckworth on Saturday. He's quite experienced, so...
Oh, yeah, it doesn't mean they're not going to...
No, I know he don't, but at least he's quite experienced.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good match. I think there'll be plenty of goals in it. I can see it being a 3-2 or a 3-3 or a 4-3 or something like that on at the weekend. I think there'll be plenty of
0-0 was odds on then, yeah?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And I think, Dave, just from an outsider looking in, when you look at sort of the business that we've done, because again, it's alien to us almost, because obviously having a billionaire takeover sort of towards the beginning of the last season, this transfer window we spent big, which for us is a first. What do you think of sort of the signings that Paul Warne's made? In terms of those additions he's brought into Milton Keynes, do you feel that there's anyone there that's a real standout for you? Are you surprised with some of the players that have been signed at all?
Yeah, obviously we were all looking throughout the pre-season, and I think they've done it in a quite a nice kind of pragmatic way at the moment. There's not been too many going for the. It would have been easy to have gone for someone with a few England caps, or you go out and you're like your 36-year-old that's doing whatever and do it that way. But they seem to be just signing good players that in theory could play in League One, so they need to be signing a squad that will hold their own in the league above, don't they? Just take a while for it to blend. I think like Wilson signing and your strikers up front and stuff like that all seems like it has the nucleus to be a really good squad without there being too many like massive personalities to spoil it. So I think both with your squad and ours, it'll be both teams will kind of gather pace as the season goes on and probably finish quite well.
Right.
You never kind of worry too much about how you do in the first 10 games as long as you're picking up points, do you? And you're kind of in the right end of the table, and then you kind of finish well. So yeah, I think it'll be up there at the end.
Well, we had a feeling at the start of the season we'd have a bit of a target on our back, because we are the big spenders in League Two, and we just thought that we were gonna meet teams and they were gonna go, oh, this lot have spent a lot of money. Come on, let's get amongst them, So we got the feeling that teams were going to raise their game against us, and we have seen that.
We have.
Especially Crawley Town, who have, obviously there's a connection between their manager, who's once our former manager, and there was we signed a few Crawley players on, and and some have gone back and all that. So there was quite an edge to the game. So we get the feeling that that I'd probably like you that people are going to want to shoot us down.
Yeah, and you do the right tactic. You start off a little bit crap. You fly under the radar a little bit, so that everyone starts looking at Crew, who always fade away. Crew, they'll drift down the table after games, and then your Gillinghams, they'll drift down the table eventually, and stuff like that, and then the cream of the crop will rise, won't it?
We like you. Can you come back next week?
It's just there's teams in this division, isn't there, where you play them and it's like, and I'm a Chesterfield fan. We've done it for years, where you stick all the men behind the ball, you play with kind of not much possession, you hit the long throws and the crosses in the box, and you take someone 1-0 when the other team have been trying to break you down for 80 minutes, and that's definitely something at Chesterfield that Chesterfield needs to get much better at. Is playing quicker against teams and not letting them set back in there.
That's our problem at the moment.
Formation, because at the moment in the transition from going defence to attack with just a bit too slow. And it'll be, oh, give it back to McFadz, he'll give it to Dunkley, give it back to the keeper, give it back to McFadz, give it back to Dunkley. Right, now we'll build an attack and they're already in like a 6-4-0 formation. So I think that's the bit that we need to improve on.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley. I'm watching it.
I'm not. You're watching Don's Unplugged.
Yeah, I agree with you about slow starting, and that is something that obviously we've done in the last 2 games, isn't it? I mean, like James and a few people have commented, we're waiting for something to happen, and we go behind, and then we start, trying to deal with the situation. We've been starting very, very slow, and it sounds like you have as well. So, like I said, it could be a dull first 30 minutes.
Yeah, something's got to give, hasn't it? And
well, we keep thinking, looking at our team, that sooner or later the penny's going to drop and they're going to start, taking teams apart. I mean, when we beat Cheltenham 5-0, we thought, here we go, got this sussed, and then, unfortunately not.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know how it's been for you, Dave, but I mean, we've had some games where, with the exception of the last 2, obviously, but like Newport away last year, that was a dreadful result for us, and they've always been a notoriously hard team to beat at home. And then we go down there and we got a result, So I think that's the same for like Chesterfield. You're gonna have those games where they're the draws or they're the losses, but there'll equally be those games where you'll go and play a team that's been tough for you historically, and then suddenly you pull out a result, which again hopefully builds that traction towards, as you say, that slow build towards success ultimately.
Yeah, I think the question mark for us so far is that the games that we've won are kind of the games, with no disrespect to other teams, that you'd kind of expect us to win. We've beaten like Barrow and Cheltenham and Harrogate and teams like that. And then the games that we've lost are like Walsall away and Gillingham away, which are probably 2 of the tougher fixtures you're going to get all season anyway. But the games that we didn't do that well in. So I think the question mark, this is where this game comes along perfectly, because it's a game of 2 teams that should be challenging right at the top, and it's like, right, how do we get on at this? Because if you come and beat us this weekend, then we can look at it and say, well, 3 teams that we expect to be near the top of the table come the end of the season, we've lost all 3. So does that mean realistically we are mid-table at the moment? Or so I think that's where the question marks kind of come in, doesn't it? It's positive because in previous seasons we've lost the games against the teams nearer to the bottom, and we're actually winning them this season. So it's just that little bit.
Yeah, I think when we beat you at your place, didn't we, last season? Is that right? Yeah, I think so. We beat you at your place, and that came off a bad run, didn't it? We were playing pretty poorly leading into that game, and we went there, and it was a bit of a surprise that we won. I don't think you had a very good day that day. I can't remember the exact detail, but yeah. So anyway, Will Grigg obviously played for MK Dons 3 times. Has he got much game time this year?
I love Will Grigg. He's kind of one of my favourite footballers right at Chesterfield. And he's got fantastic calves. He's like, I sometimes just, if the game's rubbish, I just watch his calves, because he's got calves that I could dream of. The only thing I don't like about Will Grigg is he's one of these players that's wearing the tiny shin pads, and I'm not a big fan of the tiny shin pads. But yeah, love Will Grigg, and the last 2 seasons he's been the main man up front and scored a lot of goals for us. Obviously got promoted and stuff. This year we signed Lee Bonnis, who is a Northern Ireland international, so he's like the up and coming Will Grigg, I suppose, who did very well in Ireland at Shelbourne and places like that, and then went to the Dutch second division at ADO Den Haag and got into double figures last season with them. So we've signed him this season, and he's very much a all energy kind of will chase everything kind of centre forward, but he's not got the nous in the box that Will Grigg has.
Right.
So for me, I was hoping at the start of the season, in this kind of transition from the old master to the young pro, that it would be Bonnis would be playing in the away fixtures where you need a bit more energy up front to chase the ball, and Will Grigg would be used at home where you can kind of have a bit more of a poacher up top. So I hope I'm guessing that's probably what will happen on Saturday, because Bonus started the last match. So Grigg will probably start this one, but who knows? Yeah, I'm hoping he can find his form. Both strikers have not really hit the ground running yet. It's been kind of Armando Dobra and Dylan Duffy and others that have been scoring all the goals from the kind of the attacking midfield positions. So it'll be
Question
interesting
on
to see
that.
which one starts on Saturday. Yeah.
Question on that. Why didn't Duffy play on Saturday?
He had he's got like a cyst on his knee that was kind of bashed on a tackle, so he's kind of got about 2 or 3 weeks out. So he's probably got another week or two out probably.
Right. Okay.
So I'm guessing it'll probably be Dobra, Markande, and Ronan Darcy, who we've got on loan from Wigan. That'll probably be the three behind the striker at the weekend, which is a shame because Duffy's been great. He's got lots of assists and
well, he scored. He's had 3 assists, 2 goals, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, it's been excellent. Yeah, really good.
All right, okay. James, have we got anything on the social that you want to talk about, or not bother? Or are you going to go and make your bed? It's just long-standing joke, Dave.
Ollie said, Ed Duckworth, experienced ref. Yes, so was his parents, Jack and Vera Duckworth.
Really? They call him Ed the Duck, you know.
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that it from you? You mean you've sat there for 20 minutes listening and that's all you can come up with?
Just doing my job.
My question to you would be: who's been your kind of standout player then? Who sort of us Chesterfield fans be going, or you need to mark him out the game on?
It's a difficult one, Dave. I mean, for me, there's been a few. I think for me, the pace of Hepburn Murphy can be frightening. He's really got a lot of pace and, has caused a lot of problems. That said, I mean, coming off the bench in the main has made impact in the first few games of the season. So he's really raised his game compared to last season. But I think for me, Callum Patterson up front, we're signing him from, Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship, and he's been a revelation for me. I mean, utility man, he can play across the pitch, but smart on the ball, reads the game really well, and is dangerous given the opportunity. So for me, I think he could cause problems if he's up front. The other thing we've also got is Aaron Collins, who's been out. He's coming back for the game as well. And again, he's been really good from what we've seen early doors.
Mendes Lang's probably back from Guatemala.
Yeah, although Mendes Lang for me is not bad, but I don't think we've seen the best of him yet, Cole.
No.
But then I wonder again, because going back to Dave's point about egos that you sign sort of thing, but not that he's an ego, but I think does that raise everyone else's game in the dressing room because of who's in the dressing room sometimes?
Yeah. Kelly's done well, hasn't he? Liam
Kelly's been
who came from Crawley the year before, had an appalling season last season, along with everybody else, I should add. But this season he's come out and he looks like the player that we thought we were signing, if you like, a year ago. So that's been Crowley's been out. He's back now injured. Danny Crowley, although he's been limited to substitutions. Sanders has played well at the back. The Colonel.
Jack Star's been a revelation, and he scores goals as well.
We've got the tools. It's just whether we can manage to, apply them. Really,
I think for me,
I mean, you look at it really, truly. I mean, I'm not being big-headed. We should be taking some of these teams apart, but for one reason or another, they're not clicking.
No, I don't see the game against Chesterfield being an easy one. I mean, again, to Dave's point earlier about the big games and the run, we've had obviously Walsall, Grimsby, and yourselves as our run, if you like, of those difficult games, and we've failed both of them so far at home as well, Dave. So I think for me, from a Chesterfield perspective, from set plays, I think Sanders will be dangerous. He's tall and he is, given the opportunity, he can score and score well. I think from just to open play, again, Patterson, but also, again, it's for me, Hepburn Murphy's pace, again, it's so good down that wing. I think if, respect to Carl, and others
Patterson,
around that.
Patterson unsettles defences, doesn't he?
Well, but I think it's link play for me. When you've got Hepburn Murphy in the wing and then the crosses he's made. That said, again, the main coming off the bench has done some crosses and assisted on goals as well. But I think that pace is what gives the impetus to someone like Patterson to get in there. So I think you're going to have, if he plays as what he can play, a bit of a headache because, with an aging back line, and, again, we've seen it as well, you need to have a bit of pace there to keep him in check, ultimately, I think. But there again, flip it the other way for Chesterfield fans watching as well. But our fullbacks, we've got 2 out injured. We've just had one with red card and Melesh. So we've got one, out and out fullback.
We got one fullback. And he had a bloody awful game on Saturday because he played out of position. But
yeah, and exactly that to me, I think that plays into Chesterfield's hands quite well because you do a lot of wing play, and I think that's going to cause us a bit of trouble because I don't think we've really got. And again, Warney may surprise us, but I don't think we've really got anyone. So Wilson's new, so he's still settling in that can handle that. So I think if I was Paul Cook, I'd be looking at those 2 fullbacks and thinking how I could exploit that ultimately.
We were even thinking, while you weren't on the you probably may have heard this, we were considering that he might be thinking about playing Patterson as a right back.
Yeah.
It's interesting because actually this season we haven't had too much like direct wing play in the team. Like Dobra and Markande, who've been playing as the kind of left and right sided attacking midfielders, tuck in quite a lot. With the idea that your fullbacks then are your wingers, and you've got kind of 5 along the behind the striker rather than 3. But our fullbacks aren't necessarily the most attacking fullbacks in the world at the moment. So that's been kind of part of our frustration, I think, at the moment. In that last year, Dylan Markande was amazing when he came in on loan from Blackburn, and he was tearing the division apart. And that was all from playing kind of as a direct winger down the right and then cutting in and making lots of stuff happen. And he's kind of not been doing that this season. So I think it'd be it's obviously the tactical tweak that Paul Cook needs to make at the weekend to make those wingers a little bit more direct. But whether he'll try and stick to the same thing, who knows? And I'll be really interested to see the centre-back battles because obviously we've got Shea Dunkley, ex-Wednesday player as well. They'll probably know each other. I don't know if they overlap at all. They might do a little bit. But yeah, it'll be interesting. It's always good when you get good experienced centre-backs and centre-forwards and they kind of have a bit of a battle of wits in a game is quite fun to watch.
It's going to be interesting to see Hepburn Murphy, going on a foot race with the likes of Carl McFadzean and things like that. That's going to be an interesting little battle.
I think it goes back to Dave's point.
Don't put your money on McFadzean.
Don't put your money on what?
Don't put your money on McFadzean if you're going for a foot race.
No, exactly. But I think to Dave, your
9 times out
point,
of 10, he gets to the ball before the foot race starts. It's the 10th time where he doesn't get there, and that's been the slight problem maybe this season.
Right, but then I think there again, to your point, it's like obviously retired now for us, but Dean Lewington, he was never the fastest, but it's the intelligence, it's the brain that, and again, someone like Carl brings that to a back line. That experience is absolutely vital. And I think that's the thing. It's like for me, that's the sign of a good player. Is like if they haven't got the legs and they know they haven't got the ability, how they're anticipating and how they're moving around. That's the bit I always find really interesting in those duels. But again, Cole, I know we'll come on to results in a minute, but I really, really, I wouldn't say worried. Worried's too strong because it's still early days of the season, but I really think this is going to be an even harder test than Grimsby and Walsall have been, to be quite honest, because we're away from home, and I think that
I think all we can hope for is Warren doesn't bugger around with a lineup again, if you see McGiveray up front and Patterson in goal, you'll know he's had another little tinkle.
Yeah, quite. There we go.
Saying that, Luke was saying in his preview about he was looking at the team before the game, and there was a few of us standing out by the Casbah having a burger, and the team came out, and we were going, well, where's he going to play? We were trying.
Well, we were thinking 4-3-3. It was like, how does he fit into that?
Well, we had like a jigsaw puzzle without a picture, and we were like trying to put it together, and nobody could work it out. Turns out it was a box of cornflakes.
Yeah, well, exactly right. But I think our big if we set up 4-4-2 again, I think that would be ridiculous because 2 in midfield just doesn't work for us at all.
He can't try that. He can't try that shit again.
No, we're not set up for it. We're not set up for it. And again, you could have probably get away with that. And again, no disrespect to the likes of an Accrington Stanley, but a team like that, if you want to try and experiment, maybe try it around a team like that, not against a Grimsby team who have played really well this season so far.
Yeah.
Credit to them against Man United with a decent squad, and have come to us with something to prove and did it well ultimately. And again, scored 3 goals in the first 20 odd minutes, but that was mostly down to our ineptitude.
But even with 10 men, we exposed, if you like. We could see what their bloody weak link is. And it's just a bloody shame we never started like that with that attitude.
No, but I think that's the thing. When we went down to 10 in the second half, the shape was changed and players put into different positions. It was night and day. But again, too much to do. I said that. I think third goal went in. I just said, I can't see us winning. I said, if we get a draw, I'd be over the moon. But you're 3-0 down the first 20 minutes. We all thought we were going to be 6-7-0 by the end of the game if it had carried on like that, Cole.
Yeah.
But there we go.
Amazing. It's amazing it wasn't 6-0 at half time, honestly.
I was going to say I'd be delighted if you played 2 in midfield for this, because we played 2 in midfield and we've been outrun a few times in midfield. We've signed Ryan Sturt from Walsall, who's been great. He's probably been our signing of the summer so far, and he'll be alongside Tom Naylor, who's very experienced. So we'll only have 2 in the midfield. So probably the way that a lot of the 2 teams that have beaten us so far have beaten us through kind of outnumbering us and winning the battle in midfield. So yeah, stick with the 2 in the middle, Warney, and you'll make me happy on Saturday.
You'll have a few fans in Chesterfield in the evening, that's for sure. But yeah, no, like I say, Cole, I think I know what my head's telling me the result will be, but I don't see this as going to be an enjoyable watch for Dons fans, that's for sure.
Feels like last season all over again.
No. I did this, like I said to you, I thought we'll be fine this season. I don't think we're going to be 18th again. No,
I think this season's been more frustrating than last, and we haven't really done awfully bad. Only the first half of the last
points
game.
Off the top. I mean, it's no
because with the team we've built, I'll say we've built, they've built. The expectation has risen, and so you feel like you should be getting more return, and we're not seeing that,
No, but I mean,
not on a consistent basis.
No, but Dave's point earlier, I think, about Chesterfield, winning the National League, having that first season of almost like a free hit before now expecting to move on. I kind of felt like last season we all got really frustrated. I was just as much disappointed and pulling my hair, what was left of my hair, pulling it out. But then you step back and you got to think, we started the season with Williamson, we then had Lindsay and finished it with Warren and had some assistant managers in between. So the instability in the back room didn't help last season, let alone the play on the pitch. So it was an absolute mess.
A lot of our problems were off the park last season.
Yeah, it was an absolute mess. Yeah. So this season, I think, it sounds perverse to say this, I don't know, Dave, if you've ever felt this season, probably not. But even when we lost to Walsall, and even Grimsby to that fact, I came out of both those games not downbeat because I saw enough of the team fight back.
Well, there were things to take away from the game, no doubt.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing for me. It's like, do you know what? If we play like that every week, this will get better. But we need to take that second half into the first half as well and get that consistency, and we should be all right. And I think, again, I don't know, Dave, what you feel, but I mean, similar to from what you've been saying, it sounds like you've had that same experience of there's enough there to see it come good.
Yeah, I think you just need to trust the process that's going on. It's all right to be a little bit impatient because, like you say, the money's come in, you've signed some good players and stuff like that, and it gets you excited, and you do go to games thinking, oh, he can get a couple of goals today, or he's going to score 30 goals this season, something like that. You just need to trust the process. Don't get too high with the highs when you win 5-0. Don't get too low with the lows.
Do you know Liam Manning?
You've got good managers. Both clubs have got good managers. Both clubs have got ownership and money. There's loads of clubs in this division and others that have either not got the managers, or they've not got the clubs, or they've not got the stadium or the training facilities or stuff like that. And it's just like, we've done so much work at Chesterfield in the background in terms of they've put a great training facility together. They've put the community trust to doing amazing things kind of around the community. We're getting 9,000 fans, 10,000 fans every match day, which was unheard of in Chesterfield history. So even when you get periods where results get a little bit sticky, and like I said previously, I'm like talking on the back of us getting 13 points from 7 games, so it's not really sticky at all. But it's kind of, you just have to sometimes just take a step back, I think, because sometimes a little bit of negativity that can go around a fan base, that actually then pulls the team down, and it can end up being the fan base that then pulls the team down rather than the team pulling
100%.
the fans down. And I think certainly at this stage of the season, you have to trust the process, get behind your team, and kind of let those little defeats that are really disappointing kind of wash over you a little bit and just kind of start again. We will have to do the same from that Walsall defeat last week, because that was really disappointing. It was one of the few times that they kind of had boos from the away end, because you don't have a shot on target against a team with 10 men. But actually then you have to very quickly as a fan base reset yourself and think, well, actually, we need to back the team to the point then that they can get the result this weekend, because then you go on the run again, don't you? So just to try not to get into the spiral, and
definitely.
you have to be positive about where you can end this season. You can win the last 15 games this season. Like last season, we were nowhere near the playoffs at all. The season was done for with 10 games to go, and I think we won 8 or 10 of the last games or something, snuck in at 7th, and suddenly you're like, whoa. You have a chance of, and then Walsall pumped us in 2 games. But apart from that, it was, quite an amazing, exhilarating feeling. So it's all is never lost in football. And when you've got Paul Warne in charge, it's never lost. And in January, you can go out and you can buy 4 or 5 players to plug in the gaps where it's going wrong, can't you? So it'll be fine. It'll be
all right on the night, as they say.
You're like a therapist for us, Dave.
No, I'm with you on that, Dave. I mean, like,
saved us a fortune in therapy, I'll tell you.
Absolutely. No, but I'm with Dave on it. I mean, like I say, that last season I felt wasn't as bad as it was on the pitch. I just think there was a lot of mitigating circumstances for it this season. Like, I'm patient. And like I said, I've come out of those 2 losses not feeling like the world is like, oh my God, there's so much here we need to put back together. It's just like, if we can do what we did the second half on both those games in the first half,
looking at the squad, it does give you hope, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. And there will be games. There's going to be games. Like I said to you, there's going to be games we're going to lose that we shouldn't have lost. There's going to be games that we're going to win that maybe we've got away with and been lucky. That's just evens out across the season, I think. So we'll see. We'll see. But for me, this is going to sound really contradictory, but I think this game this weekend, for me, in terms of how I see it going, is whoever scores first has got the upper hand and possibly likely to win it.
Really?
That said, I think it will end up a 2-2 draw.
Oh.
And the reason I think that is because I think both teams will go out to win it, but they both won't want to lose it. And I think that's the bit that they'll get a goal. Someone else will then, I can just see it swinging, and then it will just be a case of, right, let's not lose this. And both teams feeling that way. And I think if we both came away with a point, but both managers will probably say that's a good result because they haven't then walked away from those 3 games that we've had and the 2 that Chesterfield have had with nothing. So I can see both teams wanting to get someone out of the game, which I think will cancel them both out ultimately. And again, both teams will probably start slow and a little bit edgy, which will, I think, fracture the game a little bit in terms of pace and tempo until we sort of slip into it. But yeah, I mean, again, if Chesterfield score first or we score first, that may give one of those teams a narrow impetus to win it by the odd goal. But I think 2-2 is probably where it's going to end up ultimately.
I wouldn't argue with that. I agree. 2-2.
Yeah.
You as well?
Yeah.
All 3 of us gone for 2-2.
There you go. That's a first on Don.
Look, Dave's sitting there. He's going to go something silly like 4-3 to Chesterfield.
Well, I was before the match. Coming on here, I was thinking 3-3. So I'm the same. I was thinking kind of a high scoring draw from it, because I think, like you say, after our defeat at Walsall last week, I think there's going to be an impetus to go out and have shots, because I think everyone was a bit frustrated, both fans and management, that no one was having a shot. So I think today I think on Saturday you'll see in the first 20 minutes us having a shot from 30 yards, even if it's just for the sake of having a shot for 30 yards. And
as long as it don't hit me,
I can see there being a few goals in it. And like you say, I don't think after our defeat at Walsall, you don't want to lose 2 in a row. You don't want to get in a bit of a habit of losing games in a row. And out of the Walsall, MK, Dons, and then Bromley games, I was thinking if you get kind of 4 points from those 3 games, then you're probably doing quite well. So I think probably to get a point, hopefully to get 3. But like I say, I think it'll be a high scoring draw. One team might nick it.
So there you go. All of us are predicting a draw. Although Dave is slightly leaning towards the Chesterfield win now.
Cheeky Chesterfield win, which again I wouldn't put past them. And again, Cookies, and I'm a master tactician. I've always rated the guy. So I think, for me, I think to say if Chesterfield win it, it will probably come down to what happens on those two fullbacks, Cole. And what we do there could make or break our fortunes ultimately. And I think hopefully, if anything good's come out of the Grimsby game, I think he learned quite fast in the second half what needed to be done. So I think he'll take that into this game. But
well, I hope so. I mean, I hoped he was going to learn from the week before, but obviously not. And yeah, I think he said it was one of the lowest points in his career, didn't he? Did you say that interview?
Yeah, it did. It was, it's not far off the point. It's not
one of the lowest points in his career. So
well, Matt's gone against all of us. He reckons a 1-0 Dons win with Gilby to score. So there we go. Ash is going to be confident as well, and he reckons it's going to be 3-1 to the. I don't know what they've all been drinking. I'd love to have the same, that's for sure. But I'd love to see it, Ash and Matt, that's for sure. But at the same time, credit where credit's due. Chesterfield are nobody's fools, and I think they'll be with us at the top of the table come the end of the season. But I mean, as I say, it's just one. I think you say going about those games and sort of getting the points. I have to say, and again, just to echo Dave's points, what is it with Walsall that just frustrate the bejesus out of me? That team,
I know, I bloody hate them. I do.
Yeah,
are they going to be like the new Mansfield?
No.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Say that name on here.
You lost 2-0 to Mansfield, didn't you?
Yeah,
and absolutely battered them for the first 45 minutes, and then lost 2-0, which is just kind of sums up the season. I think that game. Yeah. Walsall have just become our kind of food. It used to be Maidenhead in the National League. We always lost to Maidenhead. But I think we beat them the last game we played them before we got promoted, but we lost like 6 in a row to Maidenhead. You just never beat them. I think Walsall have become our new Maidenhead.
All right.
Okay. But no, I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? They've got a bit between their teeth, let's not forget as well, because they had it all in their hands and they just blew it royally on the last day of the season to Bradford, ultimately. But
made me laugh.
I know, after what they were singing to us.
After what they were singing to us as we walked out of their ground.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to win the league, they were singing. They won about 3 games after that.
Cole, to be fair, they never said which season. They didn't clarify.
No, that's true.
So we'll give them their dues.
Well, I think, what Walsall are one of my tips for the title this year.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they'll be up there this season. I think the only thing for them was I was going to say that their front line isn't the best, but they're scoring and they're finding a way to win games. So if they carry on doing that till January, they can reinforce. But I think they're nobody's fault either. They've been there, they blew it. They'll want to make sure this season.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have thought they'd have been better prepared.
I think so.
This season, I think so.
Yeah, frustration.
They've done an amazing job they've done an amazing job to build another team with kind of the same identity so quickly.
Like, we were talking to the Walsall guy the other week, and we sort of said, was there any suggestion or any whispers that Matt Sadler might get the sack? And because there are teams that would have experienced that and said, well, you better go, mate. But they've kept faith. Like you said, he's rebuilt the team in the same spirit as the team the previous season, and I think they're going to be up there, top 3 for me.
Well,
who's your tip for the title? Chesterfield.
Mine. Chesterfield. Before the season started, I thought it would be us, you, and Bristol Rovers in kind of a formation of some sort, but Bristol Rovers have been rubbish. I don't know. It's weird this season. There's probably like 7 or 8 teams that could realistically all be in the top 3. I can see it being quite a short gap from 1st to 7th, probably until we get to 35 games or something.
I'll let Aidan say his usual thing. Say your usual thing, Aidan.
What's that, Colin?
About any team?
Oh, well, in this league, yeah. I mean, any team can beat any team on any given day. I've said that League 2 is one of those. It's an awful league because it's mostly inconsistent, and the teams you think are going to win games usually don't, and then the teams you think are going to be up the top usually aren't, and it's twists and turns all over. So this league will, cliche alert, will punish you if you let it. And I think the one thing, particularly for us, probably Chesterfield are going to be the same, but you've got to stay humble because you see the results that come from teams just out of nowhere. And like Bromley is, and no disrespect to Bromley and full credit to them, but I wouldn't have expected them to go on the run that they've gone on.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I said to you the other week, Shrewsbury were a pile of shit, and they won 3-1 away from home, didn't they, on Saturday?
Yeah.
Where the hell did that come from?
Things twist and turn the whole way through the season.
Oh, yeah.
Last season, at the start of that, even with all the tumultuous problems we had, I wouldn't have said we were going to end up 18th, and was thankful that we won just enough games to stay up.
Yeah.
You know, so it just proves if that doesn't give you the humility to realise that this league is no one's fault, and you need to just be, you know, head down, work and graft for it. Probably one of the. I mean, again, people will say the leagues are better, whatever. Up you go, but I think League Two is one of the hardest grafting leagues that you will come across in any professional. You know,
I mean, we were talking about the National League, weren't we, at one stage?
Yeah. I mean, again,
we were heading to the National League, and you know, we were going down faster than the Titanic.
Yeah, it was feeling like that, wasn't it? But no, I mean, again, you even look at the National League in the last 10 years, the gap between National League and League Two is closed up. You know, there are teams now spending money. You know, you watch I actually watch a lot of National League football. It is really competitive. And there again, you look at National League, I would have said that York would have been up there running away with it this season, but they're nowhere to be seen at the moment. So it just goes to prove, you know, you can't guarantee anything. If anything, for me, the leagues I think the biggest gap are with League One and the Championship. I think the Championship and Premier League have closed up, but League One and the Championship, that's a big jump at the moment. It seems to be a real struggle for the teams that go up.
Yeah, we'll have to spend a lot of money to get up there.
I'm just happy if we win, not necessarily win this league, but get out of this league.
Do you know what really pisses me off?
Go on.
When you watch, look at old Dave Love. When you watch teams like Bournemouth and teams like that and Brighton, we were playing them years ago, and there they are selling players for 50 million, and we think, okay, you can buy our club for that. You know what I mean? You know, we were playing in the bloody league with them.
We were, but for me, the one that I think is the one that, I mean, they might struggle this season, but the one I take my hat off to and really admire is Brentford. Look where they've come from and how they've got.
Yeah, we were playing them on a regular basis.
Yeah, but it's the way they've done it and the business and the way they've sold players, reinvested. I think that's a great model. Charlton were like that a few years back, if you remember, and they were really good. So,
do you know, Dave, we followed the Brentford model at our club. Well, 50% of it, actually, because what we did, we developed players and sold them and then bought a pile of shit in to replace them.
Yeah, you got to invest first.
That was half the Brentford model. The Brentford model was sell the good player and then invest that money back in more players. But no, we just sold them.
We did. But you know, again, you know, what goes up must come down. Luton's proof that. So
yeah.
You know, it's
11 versus 11.
Team.
And that's why it's became the biggest sport in the world, hasn't it? Because it's 11v11, and on the day, anyone can beat anyone. And it's why teams like Gillingham, annoyingly, with Gareth Ainsworth, he gets them all doing the basics that you need from 11 people to be able to beat another 11 people. They will run a bit faster and try a bit harder, and you know, go into a 50-50 with a little bit more gutso than the other player, and you can come out on top in the end, can't you? So it's the joy of football is being able to go to a match and think, oh, we're going to beat these 5-0, and then you come away humbled and get beat the same margin the other way around. It's the joy of it, isn't it?
Does your head in, doesn't it?
Exactly. It's frustrating, but it makes you. That's the thing that's so addictive that makes you want to go a bit more. The amount of times you get beat 5-0 and then you sleep on it, and then the next day you're like, oh, we'll win the next match 5-0.
Well, the slate's white clean, isn't it? The slate is white clean, ourselves,
don't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The worst one is travelling, you know, the farthest away that you could
Barrow in Furness.
Barrow in Furness, and getting your arses kicked, and then have that 5-hour drive home to think about it and mull over it and stew and get angry.
Fuming on the way home, and then you and the next day you're like, oh, I wish there was a match on Tuesday night.
I know. Yeah. Bloody fools, aren't we?
Yeah, ridiculous.
Well, Dave, as always, thank you for coming on, and we extend the invitation when you come down to our place. That fixture, I can't. Do you know? Anybody know when it is? Come on, anybody want to guess?
March. Ash will.
Let me have a look.
First
someone
v
have a
second,
look.
won't it? Then
What won't
be
be?
the-
First
it'll be the-
versus second.
yeah, could be the title leaders coming to your place on
Could be.
next week,
Could be.
won't it?
Yeah.
We
It'll
could
be a
present you with
point gap between us, but it'll
We-
still be a good match.
we could present you with a trophy if you like.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it might be Guard of Honor on the way out. We might have already won it by then.
Guard of Honour.
That'd
Oh,
be quite
I
funny,
hope that don't come bloody true.
No, do you know what? It could be one of those. It'd be a match fixing because they only both needed a point and they both played for a draw. That'll be it. There we go.
Yeah, and we
That
get a
was the
shit
worst thing in the National
referee.
League.
January
We
the
won.
4th.
When?
January the 4th.
Oh, you won't won the
No,
league
we
by
might
then.
not have won it by then.
Well, you might have done.
I
You
was
never
going to
know.
say,
You could
in the
have won
National
one
League,
week,
we
big
won
one.
the league by early March, and we had like 8 matches where they were doing a Guard of Honor, and we lost everyone at the end of the season. So I think they were all just drunk for the
It
last
happens,
2 months.
doesn't it?
You had the Guard of Honour at every game.
Pretty much, yeah, for about the last 6 games, and I think we got about 1 point from that last 6 games. At one point, we were looking like we could get about 105 points, and I think we only ended on about 90 because
I'm gutted
yeah,
for you.
all of the kind of the will to win just seeped out of the team. The minute you win a league, doesn't it? So they definitely try and wait until the last day of the season to do it.
Hello, James has got to make the bed.
Hey!
Hey!
He's
Is there anything on the socials for this game?
Well, I will check on the Facebook now. James has left us for a moment.
Oh, right, okay,
Um,
no, James.
So Sheila's been following the England game. She said, "I give up the predictions for Dons. I always get them wrong." Sheila, never give up. One day it might just come right, like the national lottery. You could just be lucky. So give us a prediction.
Sheila.
Yeah. Martin Hannigan's joined us. Said, "Evening, gents. Sorry, late to the party tonight. What do we think of Saturday?" You can watch us again, Martin, on YouTube. If you go on there onto the Dons Unplugged channel, you can watch us on catch up, just like iPlayer. But we've gone through that. But yeah, you'll need a therapist if we deconstructed ourselves again on that one. He said, "I remember a 3-3 draw at Brentford on New Year's Eve after being 3-0 up." So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, bloody hell.
Well, Grimsby's the inverted version of that. We were 3-0 down, and we could have got a 3-3 draw if Mr. Sanders had scored in that last minute. But not to be. There we are. But yeah, that's all.
It's funny that attempt from Sanders, the way people are talking about it.
Overhead kick.
I thought it. I know what it was. I thought it missed by quite a considerable distance.
Not
And
really.
now then people are saying, "Oh, it missed by 3 foot." It's down to a couple of inches now.
When I saw it go over the bottom, and again, I was at the top of the cowshed, but it looked very close, Cole. It looked very
I'll tell you what, from my angle, in the car, 15
in the
mile
car,
up the
15
road,
minutes away from home. Yeah.
15 mile up the road, didn't look very close at all.
Or did you see it go past your windscreen?
Yeah, it landed in
that's-
Oldie.
Did it next to Chris Waddle's penalty, where it's still in orbit somewhere, right?
Yeah, fucking hell.
But yeah, so that's what we got on that one. But yeah, I think as I say, going into the rest of the season, my prediction is when we meet again, Dave, in January, that we'll both be in the top somewhere, talking about what next and what the window is bringing us to reinforce and go again.
That's it. I think so too. I think both teams have got the ability probably in January to go and supplement a little bit. But we've only got 3 centre halves. We've got a 38-year-old, a 35-year-old, and a 33-year-old, and we've not got any others. So we could end up getting bitten on the bum a bit by that before January, but hopefully not. But yeah, I think
I wouldn't get so excited. We had 8 midfielders last season. Not one of them was any good.
Maybe we'll get Lawrence Maguire back at some point. What's Lawrence doing nowadays?
Injured.
Oh, bless him.
Injured, well, coming back from it, but I think he's going to struggle, Dave, to get back in the team. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets loaned out in January.
Yeah, but not to you,
or maybe
because
before
you'll be
he
our
goes to
rival
Leicester.
then, won't you?
Yeah, and it was always best in the back.
No, it'll be
than he was
fine, because
before, so probably not for us.
Yeah, no, I think he could do. I think, to be fair, I could see him going back to
We
Chesterfield
could really
if
ruin
we,
him and send
carry
him to
on
Luton.
Never do that. I don't hate him that much.
All right,
Come
okay.
on.
All right.
Dear me. But no, I don't know. Stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah,
Is that
just
it?
stay on the 2-point average, and we'll both be up there.
I like David. I feel a lot better after speaking to Dave now.
I do. I tell you what, this is always good having Dave on.
Yeah.
And,
I normally have to pay
much
about
appreciated, Dave,
150 quid a week for this sort of counselling.
I sounded the
Got it
complete
in
opposite
three
to this
times.
the last few days after that Walsall game. I was the most negative person you've ever listened to. I've had to really try hard to snap myself out of it the last few days and get to the point where I'm like, oh, actually, I'm feeling quite, and I was feeling, like I said at the start, I was feeling quite flat about this season. I'm feeling a bit more optimistic now. So
It gets you like that, though, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
But let's just remember, this is Walsall. You've played them now. It's out of the way until the next game. The rest of the are there to be enjoyed. But yeah, Walsall, I think they're just one of those teams. I think everyone's going to struggle with this season.
Yeah.
They don't win. They don't win well, but they know how to win.
Yeah,
If that
yeah.
makes sense.
I agree.
They do it well, don't they? So fair play to them, yeah.
Yeah, you can't knock them. Right, my fire stick's gone down. I haven't got a fire stick, honestly, but
I'm saying nothing. Apparently, England are 5-0.
oh, are they?
Anyone's
Okay,
interested.
all right, thank you.
Yeah.
All I've got is sorry, this video cannot be played.
Well, there you go. Maybe Harry Kane turned it off for you. There we are.
Right, Dave.
Oh, it's full time.
It's full time.
Yeah, 5-0.
Okay, all right, okay. Right, Dave, thanks very much, mate. We wish you all the very best for the rest of the season. And
Absolutely.
we'll see you in January, mate. Happy Christmas.
Yep.
Happy New Year.
Safe travels up to
Happy
Chesterfield.
Halloween.
We'll give you all a wave. I'm further along in that east stand, so I'll give you all a wave. We don't stick you behind the goal now. We try and stick you in the corner where you can make as least noise as possible. So
you're learning
see you
something
all
from
there.
us. Then.
Safe journeys.
Where would you recommend
You take
people
care,
go to drink if they want a beer?
Well, there's quite a few down around the stadium. There's quite a few little pubs around there, or you can go into the middle of town and stuff like that. I'll be honest, I don't really visit the pub before a match on a match day, so I'm a really rubbish person to ask.
Okay.
But yeah, there's loads around the stadium and down that kind of big main road that goes down via the stadium. Lots of little,
thanks. You've been very helpful.
And there's the Batch House opposite the stadium, which does like nice food, has little food eaters and stuff like that. So you can always have a trip to the Batch House.
There you go.
It's the white painted pub. Is that the one, Dave?
Yeah, that's on that corner.
The top of the way down. Yeah, that's the one.
Brilliant.
There you go. Look for the white pub. There we go.
Dave, thanks a lot, mate. We'll see you in January. You take care.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Yep. See you later.
Best of luck for the rest of the
Congratulations
season.
on coming second to Chesterfield. See you later.
See you, mate.
Great guy. Always enjoy Dave.
Yeah, he's good lad. Good lad. And like I said, we've been very lucky again. We've got some.
Yeah, and to be fair, we've had a few Chesterfield fans watching as well, which has been really nice, obviously. So again, for those watching, best of luck for the rest of the season. We always enjoy having Dave on, and always enjoy having a good game and a competitive match with Chesterfield. And like I say, I think we'll both be there or thereabouts this season, Cole. Both be there or thereabouts. Chris has just gave a comment on here. Yeah, Chris said, any thoughts on this rumour about Delhi and Wrexham? So, yeah, I mean, I saw that. I put it in the Facebook group. But, I mean, again, he's got offers, allegedly, Chris, from Wrexham, Birmingham and West Brom, apparently. So, if that's the case, I think Birmingham the one that financially could afford it with their big owners. But, I mean, again,
if I was him, I wouldn't go to Wrexham.
I wouldn't. It's a circus.
It's a bloody circus. A bloody pantomime. I wouldn't go there. I think it's better off at West Brom.
Sorry, West Brom a second, so yeah, but I think Birmingham's where I'll end up. Financially, I think that's where we'll go.
He could go play.
Bigger bucks.
Well, I can't remember where he plays now. No, sorry, I'm talking bullshit. Not as bad as Diana Ross-Penn at the World Cup opening ceremony.
Well, I remember that Ash. Yeah, what she was supposed to score the penalty, she didn't, and then the net blasted open, even though the ball went straight over. So. Yeah. You can see that on YouTube if you get. I mean, it's a bit grainy these days. It was a World Cup '94, but yeah, hilarious. Definitely worth a watch back for that one. That was a World Cup indeed, that's for sure. Christian Armstrong just said he'll be our left back at this rate. So there we go. And Ash has said England won 5-0.
Was there a red card in the game?
There you go. No idea.
Yes.
I wasn't watching.
There wasn't a red card. Okay.
Yeah. I watched a game of football, but it was a few days ago against another team in the British Isles, which my team played. 3-1 Germany against Northern Ireland. It was a very good game, and I will say Northern Ireland played really well. against a weakened German team. But to be fair,
You
they're a team to keep an eye on.
Patronising.
No, not at all. They played generally really
Okay,
well. I was
alright.
really impressed with
Alright.
Northern Ireland. So I think, I wouldn't be surprised to see more to come from
Okay.
them. Good squad.
You got anything, James?
Martin Hannigan says, "Evening,
Well, you
gents. A bit late to
You're
the
telling
party
me it's
tonight."
late, Martin. Get up earlier.
He says he remembers a 3-3 draw at Brentford for one New Year's Eve, and we were 3-0 up.
Yeah. Where else? We've had another game like that, and I can't remember when it was. Anyway,
There was one, James, you'll remember this, hopefully. Oldham at home. Was it 4-4?
yeah, towards the end of the season. It may even have been the
Yeah.
last game of the season.
It was a hell of a game against that one in Gillingham. I remember a Gillingham game where we scored in the 2016, something like that, or 2017. We scored in the death.
Was it
last
away at
minute.
Gillingham?
No, home.
Home.
I think it could have been Gillingham or Oldham. I forget who it was now, but we scored right at the death, and we got a draw out of that game as well. So there's been some great games when we've come out of nowhere and pulled it back. I was really hoping the Grimsby game, if we'd have had another 5-10 minutes of injury time, which we should have had rather than 3 with all the changes and issues that were going on in the second half, maybe we'd have won, not necessarily won that, but we'd have got something out of it.
Agreed.
We'd have got something out of it. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Barrow are 2-0 up and scored 2 in extra time.
Yeah.
In what?
Barrow 2-0 up and they scored 2 in extra
In what?
time.
I think he's referring to when we played Barrow. We were
Okay.
Yeah.
I've erased that from my memory. But yes.
Before we forget, are you going to remind people when we're on next week?
We are on Thursday next week because one of us is on an annual vacation abroad.
Well, I wonder who that is.
That'll be me.
Oh, it's you. Okay.
I'm leaving tomorrow. I'll be driving there, and I will be in Deutschland watching my my other club, my other home team, on the weekend, and also got a few tickets for a few other games, Cole. So I should give you live updates for Bayer Leverkusen against Eintracht Frankfurt on Friday, as well as the game on Sunday, and
I can't wait.
Game on Saturday. I know you can't. You're itching at the
And
bit,
then me
aren't
and
you?
you are going to Shrewsbury, aren't we? I've got the tickets.
We will be at
I've got the
Shrewsbury.
tickets, yeah.
We'll be at the Shrews, and we've got Aki Stanley before that. I think is it next weekend? Not this weekend. The one after.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we're going.
Yes.
Are you back for the Aki game?
Me, I'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back on Thursday. So
Oh,
we'll do the show, and then we'll Friday.
Okay, all right. So, So next week shows at Thursday night, 7:45.
7:45. Yeah.
Put a note in your diary.
Absolutely.
And if you're on
Exactly.
YouTube, you should get a reminder. Is that right?
You should do.
If you like
yeah,
and
you should
subscribe.
do. Like and subscribe.
All right,
absolutely.
okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
James, how's this program
No,
shop going? Any updates on there?
We've got, our usual big match Dons programs that I occasionally sort of give a list. Bit more wanted than just the bog standard ones. I have got that's new in 2000. The year we won the JPT, the area semi-final against Gillingham. I've got the program and the ticket. That game is hard to get hold of. Very hard indeed. So I've got that about to sort of launch
And you're
as
selling
well.
that, are you? Not keeping it for your own personal collection?
I've already got it in my own personal collection.
You would have, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Just to let everyone know, James's details are going through the bottom of the screen. But like Matt with his shirts, they are becoming harder to buy because suddenly, since we got taken over, there's a lot more interest. So again, the same with the program. So if you are a collector and you want to get your hands on something, and there's one that you're looking at, give James a shout on the details below.
Yeah, make sure on X it's 1M in the program shop.
1M.
And the email is 2M's. So just be wary of that. Make sure you get the right address.
Yep. Both on the bottom of the screen.
Both on the bottom of the screen. Also, I'm going to give you another reminder. It's Tom Carey's funeral tomorrow at Crown Hill Crematorium, 12:15. If you can get down there, that'd be brilliant. Show some support for the family and respect for Stickman, who's a massive MK Dons fan. And the family have requested you wear red, white, or a bit of Don's merch. And then the wake is in Abbey Golf Club afterwards. So if you get along there, that'd be great. Anything else you want to say, Aidan?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Really?
Cole, I think James, I don't know if you've got any more comments, but I think I've said most people have been watching England game tonight. So thank you to everyone who has been watching tonight. Obviously, this is on our very own Don's Unplugged catch up on YouTube. So feel free for anyone who has missed today or come in late, like Martin, come and drop onto the YouTube channel, like and subscribe. Go back, you can review the content and leave comments that we can actually respond to outside of this show.
I've just had a reminder that the show is next Thursday. How did that happen?
Well, there you go. Funny that, right? There we go.
Amazing.
There you go. Forrest, yeah, Mitrovic, yep, got sent off. Ashley said Gillingham at home. We won 3-2 with a Louis winner after Georgia. That was the game. That was the game. Ash, well remembered. Yeah, hell of a game. Hell of a game. One of the ones highlights. Not as highlight as the 1-0 win with the 9 men against Peterborough. That will
always stick in my mind. Always.
15 minutes of injury time. The ref was begging to get Peterborough a goal.
I remember that was the final whistle. And me and this bloke, I haven't got a clue who he was. We were jumping up and down, hugging each other like with one,
Yeah. I thought that was it. I thought that's it. We've turned our season around. We're going to do well. We went down anyway. But I don't care. We beat Peterborough and the faces on the players were priceless.
But I believe that Peterborough beat us with 9 men once, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, they did. But we won't talk about that. We
won't
talk
about
that. Anyway, Chris has said here, James has helped John and me out a few times and 5 stars. Great service on all programs. James, jokingly aside, do you have anywhere as a business where people can leave ratings who have engaged with you to give you a boost?
It would be on the Facebook page, which is, again, just the program shop. I'm in, obviously, the MK Dons Facebook page. So, yeah. I mean, all ratings are good.
No.
Okay.
No, good stuff. I mean, again,
700 5-star reviews on Vinted, doesn't really lie, does it?
Humble as ever, James. But no, again, I think Chris, great call out. And look, I'm not just saying this because James on the show. As I say, we've worked with James when we were on the DSA. We've worked with him obviously since then as well. But I know how much effort, hard work as Colin does that James puts in to doing such a phenomenal job to make sure that those programs are kept, collected, stored, and also other fans get the enjoyment.
Yeah, DSA used to do that, didn't they?
So I know it's no means feat. Yeah. By James, funny enough.
And Russell Ford.
No, James, just a massive call out. Massive call out and appreciation for all you do because it's not just for your good self, but for the wider Dons family. Huge kudos to you, mate, because it's definitely not an easy one, and you have to go far and wide to hunt some of those things down.
Right, it's way past my bedtime.
Yeah.
Is it? Good night, Cole.
Good night, Cole. So we'll wrap this one up then, yeah? Call it a night.
I think so. Yeah. Until next Thursday.
Thursday night, 7:45. Be there, be square. Good luck to anybody.
Anything else from you, Cole, before we wrap up?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I just want to say safe travels to everybody heading up to Chesterfield. Get behind the lads. Don't forget, we haven't played many games yet. There's still about 40 games to go. Let's not get carried away, yeah? Get behind the team. That's my message.
No, good stuff. I couldn't agree more, mate.
You heard what Dave said earlier, Well, the quality of both sides,
Oh, it'll be fine.
You've got to say, if we can't get in the top 7 at the very least, I'll be amazed. Absolutely amazed.
Yeah.
So
I think we'll come good. Yeah. I think we'll come good. It's just a slow burn this season. I'm taking nothing for granted.
Let's not get carried away. You heard what Dave said. If that descent or panic starts in the terraces, in the seats or whatever, it filters down onto the pitch. So let's not get in that scenario. Come on.
Very true. No, very true. I'll be watching the game anyway from Germany.
Yeah, I won't. I'm not saying nothing. Right. Right. Say good night, James.
Good night, James.
You see, I don't know. That's your line. I don't really get that.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Good. Say good night, Aidan.
Okay. Gute Nacht, Aiden. Und wir sehen uns nächsten Donnerstag.
It's all Greek to me, but there you go.
Not German, but there you go.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't enter any competitions because lines will be closed. Good night. Take care.
Good night.
See you next Thursday. Come on, you dogs.
Good night.
Cheers, guys.
Good night.